Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another live stream. Hope everybody is doing absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can adjust. Originally, I wanted to do a more vertical style live stream, but here we go. Maybe I'll do it like this. There we go. I wanted to do a more vertical type of live stream because I know it's a little bit better for people that watch on their phones. Not sure if I like it. Maybe the next one will go back to horizontal style live streaming. But either way, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Saturday night live stream. Hopefully everybody is doing absolutely fantastic here. I'll even turn some of these coins, rounds, and bars. That way it looks a little bit better. How's everybody's Saturday night going? There we go. That looks a little better. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday night to you, your friends, and your families. Hope you're doing fantastic. Hope you're feeling fantastic. Hope you're ready for a silver and gold conversation. I don't really have much of a game plan here. I just wanted to hang out. If anybody is watching right now, which I see a decent amount of you are, if you can hit that like button for me, I'd appreciate it. It'll give the stream a nice little kickstart in the algorithm. And head on down to the chat. Let me know you're there. Say hi. Say how's it going. Say what's up. Say screw you. Say something. All right. So, had the day off today. Spent a little bit of time filming a couple videos. I have a few more locked and loaded and ready to go. So that's what I try to do. That's what I've been trying to do. Now that I've had a little bit of time to film, I'd like to spend some of that time filming a bunch of videos. That way I'm always sitting on a few. I always got a couple in the bank. That's basically what my game plan is right now. Whenever I have a day off, try to film 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. If I have half a day off, I'll try to film an extra 1 or 2. That way I have several locked and loaded and ready to go. All right. One of the videos I filmed was about the recent spot price update, which I'm sure we're all aware of. Kind of caught me off guard. I didn't expect that to happen, but hey, not the most surprised. Wasn't stranger things have happened. I've seen stranger things happen in the silver and gold world. And hey, now that spot price is down a little bit, might be an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to snag something off of your to stack list. That's right. I got a couple pieces that are on my to stack list. I have I've had a couple of ideas. I've actually some of the things that have been on my let me start over. Some of the things that have been on my to stack list for at least a year or two. I should probably turn that, or at least portion of that, to stack list into a reality. Get it off of the to stack list and just add it to the stack. Add it to the list of stacked coins, rounds, and bars. Take it off of that to stack list and put it on the to stacked list. Already stacked. That's what I'm talking about. One of which is the 5-ounce Monarch Silver Bar. I'm looking at some prices right now. Oh my god, that thing is nice. That thing is beautiful. Good golly, Miss Molly. That 5-ounce Monarch hand-poured silver bar. And now that the spot price is a couple bucks lower per troy ounce, who knows, man? Could be an opportunity to pick one of those things up. I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh, let's see. Scrapper Stacker, first one in the chat. What's going on? Welcome aboard. Happy Saturday. I bought 4 Morgans today for $28. Wow, 28. 28. You got it below spot? Spot price is what, like $29.50 at the moment or something like that? God, man. Where was that at? The local coin shop or something? Big sale on Wall Street? Oh, man. Big sale is an understatement. Man. Major, major, major sale. We are down heavy. Massive drop. Let's see. I'll pull up some numbers and see how we're looking for the week, just to kind of put things into perspective for everybody, because not everybody, pays attention to the different markets. You should pay attention to the different markets, by the way. You don't have to be involved in the markets. You don't have to be investing in all of the markets. But if you're not paying attention to the different markets, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, I believe, and I've always said. All right, so the S&P 500, just in the last week, is down 8.63% just in the last week. Good God. Man, in the last month, 12.33%. Wow. Year to date, S&P 500 is down 14.34%. Good God. Good God. But hey, silver's down a little bit. Check the spot price. It is sub $30 an ounce. $29.56, I believe it was last time I checked. Down about 7 point something percent. I think I have a screenshot on my phone here. Let me see. Let's see. Where's silver sitting at? Down 7.13%. Silver. Gold is down 2.5%. So yeah, silver's down pretty heavy. Gold's down a little bit. The S&P is super down. All the spec techs, I like to call them, those are down horrifyingly at the moment. But hey, could be a buying opportunity. Everything's on sale. Crypto's on sale. Stocks are on sale. Silver and gold are on sale. I mean, well. Should we say that silver and gold are on sale? I mean, they might be down a little bit, but here, let me pull up a chart. Let's talk some numbers here. Let's talk about some numbers. Let me pull up silver's chart, and let's see. I mean, we don't even have to talk about the stock market. It has been on a steady decline pretty much this entire year. Okay, so let me look at 3 months on silver. Yeah, exactly. If you look at silver's 3-month chart, it's still up 2.5%. So, no, silver has not crashed. Silver 3 months ago was about 29 bucks. Right now it is 29.56, I believe it is. And in the last 3 days, yeah, silver's down quite a bit. It's down just a hair under 12% in the last 3 days alone. So, pretty much long story short, like these past couple of days, silver's down to almost where it was a measly 3 months ago. So that's not really that dramatic when you zoom out a little bit and you look at it from that angle. It's not really down. It's only down from where it was last week or last month. Its high was, I mean, it did touch $35. I was lucky enough to see that happen in real time. Got a screenshot of it. Not on me, but I had a screenshot of it and I talked about it in a video. Local coin shop. That slab just circulated. 1890. Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. You said you got 4 of them. 1890. 1890. 1883. 1881. Nice. Nice. I have a couple Morgans. I'm trying to think. Do I have one with me where I'm at right now, though? Let me see. Do I have it in this box? I think I might. I think I may just have it. Don't remember if I brought it with me or if I, it may still be locked up. I might not have it. It doesn't look like I have it. Wish I had it with me. Would have came in handy since we're talking about Morgan dollars. Hey, by the way, if someone said, hey, I got a Morgan dollar and a peace dollar, and this question's for everybody watching. If someone came up to you, they had a Morgan dollar in one hand, they had a peace dollar in the other, and they said, you can have one for free and I'm going to keep the other one, which one would you pick? Same condition, same everything. Just one's a Morgan dollar, one's a peace dollar. Which one are you picking? I think I know what my answer would be. But I'm curious, everybody watching, which would you choose? Man, I'm not seeing my Morgan dollar. I might not have brought it with me. I got one thing. One thing that I don't often showcase on the streams or in my videos. Take a gander at this. Ooh, some Goldbacks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna set those aside because I filmed a whole video about them. Freaking half an hour long video. I had fun doing that video. Alright, could my Morgan dollar be in here? Let's see, let's find out. If it's not in this box, then I unfortunately do not have it with me. Please be in here. Got some platinum. And no, I'm not seeing it. Gah! Yeah. Oh, I found it. I found it. I got an 1884. And what do I have with it? Check it out, guys. Check it out. Yeah, we're talking about Morgan dollars. Just by pure luck, I happen to have it with me because I was not planning on showcasing the Morgan dollar or making any videos about Morgan dollars just yet. I haven't even been thinking about Morgan dollars. Let's see. Rusty, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Just got your first Goldback yesterday. Hey, what a coincidence. Not a tremendous amount of people talk about Goldbacks. Which state is it from and which denomination? I'm not... See, I love Goldbacks just because, I'm not really much of a collector. I don't really go after coin collections necessarily. I mean, I have a couple cool pieces that that are part of series or sets or whatever, and there are a couple of series and sets that do interest me, and I'm not, hyper involved in the numismatics, but there are a couple collectible pieces that I have and that I am interested in, and I kind of categorize Goldbacks that way, if that makes sense, because, if you do the math, and I made, a 35-minute long video, I filmed it today, and I think it'll be posted, I think it's going to be posted on Tuesday, all about Morgan, oh my god, all about Morgan dollars, all about Goldbacks. All about Goldbacks. And talking about how much, they're being bought and sold for compared to how much they're actually worth from a gold content perspective. They carry hefty premiums, but the premiums are kind of in disguise because of how cheap they are. Just a lot of people kind of overlook it because, for example, the one Goldback note is 1/1000th of a troy ounce of gold. 1/1000th. No, not 1/100th. Not 1%. 1/1000th. You know, I have a... Once again, I'm not... See, what I did was I took a variety and I kind of tossed them in a box and I just kind of have them with me. I didn't put the Morgan dollar in here on purpose. I just happened to have it with me. And I'm wondering if I did the same with my peace dollar. Oh, I did. Oh, man. No friggin' way. I swear to God, I didn't realize I had my Morgan dollar or my peace dollar with me. I'll show them off in just one second. Let me get myself a little bit more organized here. Yeah, I have a little cardboard box in front of me with like a bunch of random coins in it that I was like, yeah, here's just a bunch of random stuff. Maybe I'll film some videos. I didn't really fully look through it. I haven't looked through it in a while. All right. Here is my 1884 Morgan dollar. Let's see. Morgan every time. You know, yeah, that's a common pick. You know, I feel like 9 out of 10 people, if I asked them that question, if I said if I had a Morgan dollar in one hand and a peace dollar in the other, same condition, same pretty much everything, and I would give you one for free, and I'll run home with the other one, keep it for myself, which one would you choose? I feel like, you know, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people would pick the Morgan dollar. To be honest with you, I would pick the peace dollar. And I love both. I love Morgan dollars, I love peace dollars. And, you know, to be honest, like, you know, when somebody says, oh, which, you know, Morgan dollars or peace dollars, the correct answer is both. But hypothetically, if you had to pick, which one would it be? Most people say Morgans, and you know, my answer is both, but if it really came down to it, I think I would pick the peace dollar. If I really had to pick. Speaking of peace dollars, here's my 1922 beautiful, beautiful, beautiful peace dollar. I love peace dollars, man. Let's see. Florida Florida 1 gold. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I want to get myself some of the Florida Goldbacks. I want to get the, you know, I have what do I have? I have Utah. Here, I got a couple. See, I have the 1, 5, and 10 New Hampshire, Nevada, and Utah Goldbacks. I have the 1, 5, and 10 from those 3 states. I kind of want to get the 1, 5, and 10 Florida Goldbacks. Does anybody know offhand how many states have released their own Goldbacks? Because I got those 3. I got the 1, 5, and 10 notes from those 3 states back when it was only those 3 states. Several more. I don't remember off the top of my head how many. I don't even know off the top of my head how many states currently have Goldbacks. But yeah, going to be getting some of the 25s and 50s. Oh man, yeah, I was never able to justify being able to get the 25s and 50s. They're hefty premiums, but you know, at the end of the day, it's art made out of money, and art carries a premium, and it's gold. Joseph, what's going on? Welcome aboard. Happy Saturday. Buy up gold and silver. Welcome aboard. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Welcome to the stream. Hey, since you guys just stepped in, quick question for you. Hypothetical scenario. Mr. DYDSS knocks on your door. You open the door. I tell you, I got a Morgan dollar in this hand. I got a peace dollar in the other hand. You can have one of the two for free, and I'm keeping the other one. Which one are you picking? Morgan dollar or peace dollar? I know someone out there is thinking, you know what? I'll plead the second. I'm taking both. But no, seriously, if you had to pick, hypothetically, which one we going with here? Morgan dollar or peace dollar? I think every single person I've asked so far, like in general, not just tonight, well, not every single person, but like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people say the Morgan dollar. I say peace dollar. Hey, we finally got another. We got someone else on my side of the aisle. Joseph would pick the peace dollar. That's what I would pick. I love both. Buy up says Morgan. Uncirculated, I'm taking peace. Circulated Morgan. Okay. Okay. I think that's fair. By the way, welcome to the stream. The High Desert Pioneer. Now, when you say desert, mind if I ask what, well, actually, let me ask everybody. What state is everybody viewing out of? Just out of curiosity. Streaming out of New Jersey. New Jersey. Dirty Jersey. I like the Eagles on the back of the peace dollar, much better. But just feel like Morgans are easier to sell if I have to. Yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. That's fair. Wisconsin, California in the house. Man, I remember back in the pandemic days. Back when I was on YouTube, like pretty much full time. Well, pretty much. Might as well have called myself a full-time YouTuber. And I was cranking out a video every single day. A lot of the time I was putting 2 videos out a day, and I was live streaming like multiple times a week. Going crazy on YouTube. And I had people tuning in all over the place. I had people from so many states. We had like probably someone from probably 25 states per live stream and multiple countries. We even had a couple people from the 51st state. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we had a lot of Canadian viewers. You know, surprisingly, I have some according to my YouTube analytics, I have, quite a few people that tune in from all over the place. You'd be surprised. I have a lot of German viewers, and they just use the YouTube auto translate. So I guess the subtitles are. I think if you don't speak English, I think you could just turn on automatic translate subtitles and it translates to your language or something. I have a lot of German viewers. Let's see, Iowa, born and raised a Florida man. Huh. What made you leave? You know what's cool about Florida? And also Wisconsin, by the way? Something that, Joseph probably understands. California, New Jersey. I tend to believe that the best states to live in are the states that you never, ever, ever hear about. If you don't live in Iowa, when's the last time you've heard about Iowa? Anybody in the stream right now? If you do not currently live in Iowa, when's the last time you heard of anything taking place in Iowa? Those are typically the states that you want to live in, the ones that are kind of off the radar. And Joseph, I don't mean to single you out. I'm with you there. You hear a lot of crazy stuff about California. You hear a lot of crazy things coming out of New Jersey, New York. Florida has a different kind of crazy. But yeah, generally, I've always felt that the best states to live in are the states that you never really hear about. And I don't just mean about political stuff. I mean just about just craziness. Let's see. Nevada. All right. Now your username definitely makes sense. The first question I was going to ask you is, do you happen to be out of Arizona? But Nevada. All right. B. Taylor, welcome aboard. Welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Agent 181, your channel got recommended randomly after clicking off Rebel Capitalist. I have no idea who Rebel Capitalist is, but he or she, I'm sure, is pretty interesting. I've never heard of that channel before, but hey, welcome to the stream. Did this live stream right here get recommended to you? Or did a random video of mine get recommended to you and now I'm just live and you're here? California. Miami, crime and money. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, Florida's been calling my name. I will not be in New Jersey the rest of my life. I don't believe I'll be in New Jersey 5 years out. Florida has been calling my name for years. Um, and, you know, originally I was dead set on Florida. I'm like, Florida, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And then, you know, a couple years, you know, I was like, you know what, I'd be happy in, you know, Florida, um, Georgia, North Carolina, or South Carolina, like any of those four. I'd be open-minded to Tennessee, but really those four that I just listed, I was like, Florida's my number one pick, but I'd be happy in any of those four. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy in New Jersey too, but there's a lot of, I'd rather live in Florida than New Jersey. And the weather plays a small role in that decision. I hear about people leaving out of California to Iowa. I haven't really heard that. I understand their decision, though. Honestly, people leaving California yeah, I forget what year it was. Was it 2021 or 2022? California, they had more people, I think for like the first time either ever or the first time in God knows how long, they had more people move out than in. Forget what year that was. It was, you know, it was one of the pandemic years. Iowa's great. Safe, cheap, top 5 in schools. Florida is good for vacations. That makes sense. Does anybody know offhand how many states have produced Goldback notes? I can think of... Did Texas come out with theirs yet? And what was that other one? How many states have Goldback notes? 5? That's it? 5? Wyoming! Oh, wait, no, it's not 5. Get out of here. Florida's not on the list, and Florida has Goldbacks. Let's see, we got Utah, Nevada, and New Hampshire. I have the 1, 5, and 10 Goldback note from those 3 states. Wyoming and South Dakota also have Goldbacks. I know Florida has Goldbacks. Does any other state? It's more than 6, is it not? It's at least 6. Man, I remember I picked up my Goldbacks back when Wyoming and South Dakota were on the list of states that would soon be coming out with Goldbacks. So I had my Goldbacks like back when we only had 3 states with Goldbacks. Let's see. The 25-ounce silver. Oh, the 25-ounce video months ago. I've been watching for 5 months. Wow, that's awesome. That's cool. You know what's funny? I remade that 25 ounces of silver video just recently, like a week or 2 ago. I remade it with more updated numbers and information. You know what's cool about that particular video, the one that you referenced? The original 25 ounces of silver can save your life video? I put that video out 5 years ago. And that is still my most viewed video of all time, and gets more views per day than almost every other video that I put out. Still to this day, 5 years later, that one particular video 5 years ago, still present day, has more traction than even some of my recent videos. How crazy is that? Talk about royalties. It's like writing a book. You know, it's not like you write a book and it just gets read one time and that's it. No, that book can get read for like centuries. That's cool, man. That's the power of the internet. I don't care what anybody says. Like, the internet is like the new land of opportunity. Okay, so 6 states so far. Okay, so what I just read, they was accurate, but Florida wasn't added to this. That's kind of stupid. Govmint.com. You got to update your friggin' list, man. As soon as I read it, I knew it was wrong. I was like, no, there's at least one more, Florida. I didn't know if any other states had come out with it without my knowledge, but no. I remember Wyoming and South Dakota were on the list to come out, and I knew that they came out. And I knew that Florida had also come out. What are the other two that are on the list of upcoming ones? Oklahoma and Arizona are next. Nice! I can't wait for... Oh, man. Ooh, those are going to be interesting. See, you know what's cool about Goldbacks? And, you know, I'm not going to talk too much about Goldbacks because I just made a 35-minute long video just today, which I will be posting on Tuesday, I believe. It's a straight Goldback video. Pretty much nothing but Goldbacks, talking about why I got them, if I plan on getting more, how much they're truly worth compared to how much they're being bought and sold for, and really breaking down some numbers and putting things into perspective for people that are kind of on the fence and don't know if they want to, you know, buy Goldbacks or not. I can summarize the whole video in like a quick little sentence, kind of, not really, but if you think Goldbacks are cool, sure, get them. If you want to buy them to stack gold, do not do it. The premiums are psychotic. On a micro level, like we're talking about like 1/1000th of an ounce of gold. It's worth $3 and change, being sold for about $8. So percentage-wise, when you look at like how hefty of a premium that is, that's insane. That's almost 2.5 times how much, or you're paying like 2.5 times more than what it's actually worth. But on the flip side, it's only $8. If you want to get it for fun and because you like the way that it looks and you think that they're interesting and you're kind of like, you kind of support that whole, like, it's almost like a private gold standard to a certain degree. And if you like the art, then yeah, heck yeah, get them. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with paying a little extra for something that you really, really like. Same thing with a higher premium coin. It's no difference. But if your idea is like, hey, this is like a really teeny tiny way of stacking gold for the long term, don't do that. Premiums are way too extreme. Get a handful if you think that they're cool, if you think that they're fun, you know, nice to look at, sure. But, you know, the ones that are 1/1000th of an ounce of gold, that does not mean you should go and buy 1,000 of them. Oh, it's an ounce of gold. Yeah, but hate to break it to you. Man, think about that for a second. An ounce of gold, if you get 1,000 of the 1 Goldback notes, which each one is worth about $3 or so, being sold for $8 and something cents, that's an ounce of gold that technically you paid $8,000 something for. AKA, don't do that. But yeah, nothing wrong with getting a couple Goldbacks just because you think they're fun. Officially 5, but more are trying to produce from what I understand of Goldbacks. I think it's officially 6 though, is it not? Because you can get Florida Goldbacks. Wyoming and South Dakota, they have already released their Goldbacks, right? So that's 6. Or did one of those two not release it just yet? South Dakota or Wyoming? Are they both out? YouTube algorithm? Yeah, the algorithm is a crazy powerful thing. Buy physical uranium today. Good God. Danny, welcome aboard. U is for uranium. Bombs. Definitely not for stacking. Yeah, absolutely not for stacking. They're for fun. And at the end of the day, like, it's art, and art carries a premium. But it's kind of justifiable to a certain extent because it's art literally made out of money. And man, like, there's so much detail in these things. Here, I'll put one on the screen and I'll just leave it on the screen. Here, let me find a good one. What's my favorite one here? Let's see. We're gonna go with the 10 New Hampshire Goldback note. And I'm just gonna casually drop it on the screen right there. Let's see. Let's see if that's in frame. No, that's not in frame at all. Good God. Okay. How about that? Just kind of. Hey, by the way, is everybody... how many of you are watching from a phone right now? Is anybody viewing from their phone? And if so, are you watching it like a vertical stream or are you watching it like horizontal? Because I prefer doing like horizontal live streams. Like, instead of looking at it from a phone, it looks like more like TV style. Landscape mode instead of portrait mode. Horizontal instead of vertical. I prefer it the other way. I did it opposite today because I wanted to see how it would look on a phone. It looks fine, but yeah, I'm just so used to everything being horizontal. I would never be able to get used to this. You know what I think the future is? Hey, if anybody wants to go in on a business idea with me, you know what we should make for, like, you know, the 10-year-olds of the day? 8 years from now, when those 10-year-olds are 18, we need to make vertical TVs, because they're looking at their phones all day and they watch everything vertically. You know, the TikTok videos are always vertical when we watch things like TV style that are horizontal. We should get a company going that makes vertical movies and sell vertical TVs. Let's see. Question: If you can buy 2 gold coins or the equivalent in silver, which would you get? I have to pay 3 per ounce premium here in Cali for silver, 35 premium for gold. You know, I want to say I would go with gold, but with the current prices, silver is just, like, at least in my opinion, it's like, I think silver's kind of the obvious choice, or I think silver's the obvious opportunity at the moment. And I don't just mean because it's under $30 again. I'm going by the gold to silver ratio. Like, technically, we are now 1 to, I think, what is it, 103? 1 ounce of gold is the equivalent to 103, approximately. It's over 100 ounces of silver. And when the gold to silver ratio is this obnoxiously far apart, I think silver's the way to go. When the gap is, you know, tightened up or more in our favor, I think gold would probably make more sense at that time. Or to trade a little bit of silver for gold and capitalize on that opportunity. But yeah, with the current gold to silver ratio, let me find the exact number. Gold to silver ratio. Let's see. I think, let's see. Is this going to tell me? Nah, screw this. Let me go to Kitco. I know it's over 100, which is crazy. I mean, I've seen it before. I can't say it's that crazy, but yeah, I'm not seeing an exact number, but I know it's over 100 to 1 right now, or 1 to 100. Let's see. I think the one Goldback is now over 6. Being Becky, welcome to the stream. From what I saw it for about $8. The one Goldback note, which is worth, technically speaking, it's worth about $3 and like 3 to maybe 5 cents. If you take, you know, spot price of gold and divide it by 100, that's how you get to the one Goldback note, which makes it about $3, and let's just call it 5 cents. I wouldn't be surprised if they're being sold for $6, but from what I was looking at, I was seeing them being sold for $8. But regardless, let's just say let's just say you're right, $6. That's still insane of a premium. That's like getting an ounce of silver for $30 with a $30 premium tacked on top. If you really think about it, you're double paying. But for Goldbacks in particular, again, art carries a premium, and this is art quite literally made out of money. And on top of that, there's like almost like a punch in the face message behind it of like, you know, if you don't want to go back to the gold standard, screw you, we'll go back to the gold standard ourselves. That's kind of what it's about, and I like that. Only need 10 of the 100 Florida Goldbacks for an ounce. True. Yeah, but I don't think it's a great idea to work your way up to an ounce of gold with the 100 Goldback notes, with 10 of them. Because take the price of a 100 Goldback note and multiply it by 10. You're going to get a number far, far, far beyond what the spot price of gold is. Like, crazy far. Your streams from the pandemic helped me get through it and increase my interest and knowledge of gold and silver. Thank you. Wow, that's awesome. I appreciate that. That's cool. That's awesome. You know what's crazy? I have a P.O. box, so like I don't talk about the P.O. box anymore because I like every single time that I went, I had like yellow notes stuck all over the P.O. box saying that you're receiving packages that won't fit in your P.O. box. So I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign that I should kind of cool off with talking about the P.O. box. But I have a P.O. box, and people would write me letters, man. I have the letters still, and you know, I would get letters from people saying that like they have like it was letters from a dad, and he would tell me that he has like, let's just say, I don't remember how old his kid was off the top of my head, but let's just say his kid was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years old, and had, you know, a small interest in coins. And that was something that this man and his son could bond over. Like, that they have a common interest, and it's something that they can do together. You know, whether it be a sport, whether it be art, whether it be whatever. It's like something that like a father and son would just do together. Like, the kid was interested in coins, the dad was interested in coins, so they do stuff coin-related together. Instead of sitting down and watching, like, cartoons, he told me in the letter, they sit down and they watch my videos. That's cool. That's powerful right there, man. That's awesome. It's crazy. I can spend them in some places here. My plumber takes them. That's cool. Yeah, that's the thing. The Goldbacks are like, it's like a currency beside the US dollar. Well, I mean, that's weird to say, beside the US dollar, but it's something that you can use as literal currency in addition to our dollar. It's cool how that works. On phone and it's horizontal. I don't think I can change it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do another live stream like this, like the vertical one. Maybe I just have to get used to it, but I don't really like the vertical live streams. I like the horizontal ones. And plus, like, to monitor my own live stream, I watch it from my laptop, and there's no way of changing. Actually, there might be a way of changing it. I don't remember. No, there isn't a way. I mean, there is, but there isn't. And it's just, I don't know, just kind of awkward. Not that it matters. I mean, you can still, like, see what I have on the stream, and you can still hear me talking, and you can still type in the chat. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not the biggest deal in the world. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. I don't really love the vertical. Might have something to do with going my entire life watching everything on a screen horizontal. Who knows? But yeah. Let's see. Phone. On my phone, it's vertical. Either silver goes up or gold crashes. More than likely, silver goes up a bit. Yeah, you see, that's another thing you have to remember when we're talking about the gold to silver ratio. See, we all talk about how, like, oh, if the gap closes in, I'd trade my silver for gold. But, you know, no one stops to think, why did the gold to silver ratio gap close in? You know, because when we talk about it, in our minds, it's because silver goes up at a faster rate than gold goes up. And silver kind of catches up a little bit. But what happens if the gold to silver ratio gap were to close in because gold went down at a dramatic rate? Which I can't really envision that happening. I can't really envision a world where silver drops down just a little bit while gold itself tanks, like exclusively gold. I can't really imagine a world like where that can happen, but you know, in theory it could happen. So at that time, it might not really make sense to trade silver for gold. At that point, it might make more sense to trade a larger amount of dollars for gold and just put like kind of like silver on hold for a second and get gold with your cash, as opposed to using your cash to get silver and then using your silver to get gold when the ratio is in your favor. So it's just another thing to think about. Let's see. That is awesome. Yeah. Yeah. The whole, you know, that was cool. And I got several letters like that, but there was this one in particular who told me that, like, he sits down, like, with his kid, with his son, and just watches my videos, like the same way that they would watch a TV show together. That's cool, man. The DYDSS channel, bringing families together since 20... when the heck did I start making these videos? What year did I do this? What year did I start? 2016? Let's see. Oh, it was February. I don't remember what year. I can figure it out right now. No. Let's see. 9 years ago. February 22nd, 2016. Bringing families together since 2016. It's going to be my new tagline. Let's see. I don't mind either way. I enjoy the content. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to try it out tonight. I was getting the stream set up, and I was like, you know what? Because it automatically went to vertical, and I could have changed it to horizontal, but I was like, you know what? Let me try it this way. I live streamed on Instagram, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, probably. And those are, you know, vertical by default. I don't know, that's just kind of like the new style. Vertical. Because, like, since TVs were invented, everything's been, like, horizontal. So TVs, horizontal, laptops, horizontal, computer screens, horizontal, movie theaters, horizontal. Like, that's just always been the way of watching things. Content was filmed and published in the more horizontal style, landscape mode. When mobile phones came out, there wasn't really a screen. There wasn't really any watching. You put your phone down on the table and you go watch something on TV. Now everybody watches stuff on their phones. Smartphones came out, obviously more vertical, and if you want to watch something horizontal, you got to rotate the phone and you got to adjust it a certain way. Now it's just by default, everything's filmed vertically. So I don't know, who knows, maybe vertical style filming is like the future of movies or something like that. God, I hope not. But hey, you never know. D of B&D Farm, welcome aboard. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Just got my first Goldback today. Missouri will hopefully get its own... Oh, I thought you said he got a Missouri one. I was like, is that another one on the list that I didn't know about? Missouri will hopefully get its own Goldback soon. We would be a good state, I believe. I believe all 50 states would be good states for Goldbacks. I can't wait for the day, or I hope to see the day where all 50, potentially 51 states have their own Goldback. That'd be cool. I'd love to see that. Or at least get up to 26. That way we outnumber them. I wonder what a New Jersey Goldback would look like. Probably be a picture of like a dumpster with a knife on the ground or something. Let's see, vertical is good for getting more people scrolling. Stop and watch. Horizontal is nicer to watch. Yeah, I could probably agree with that. Vertical is good for people scrolling. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, horizontal is like, aesthetically, I think it looks a little better. You know, I think vertical would be better if my camera were pointed the other way. If I was going to sit here and live stream myself talking, I think vertical might look a little better. I don't know. Either way. I'm glad I was able to catch your live. I have to leave. My dogs don't see you. B and Becky, appreciate you being here. Have a fantastic rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you being here. Question, at what point in stacking would you buy a safe? Living in a condominium? Would I recommend buying a safe? I would, you know, like, my automatic answer, the first response that I want to say is, like, right now, like, automatically, get a safe. Like, potentially get the safe before you even get the silver. But as long as you have like a super safe, hidden, secure spot in where you're living that it can be hidden, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. I mean, it kind of freaks me out a little bit to think about, you know, having silver or gold, or at least a significant amount of silver or gold not, you know, behind a lock and also very, very well hidden. Kind of, I don't know, man. I mean, think of it, I mean, pretend that the silver and gold that you have doesn't exist and you have the equivalent in cash. Just like $100 bills just sitting there. Should probably lock up those dollar bills, right? So I would strongly recommend getting a safe. It doesn't have to be a massive safe. Just, you know, something super secure and very well hidden is 1,000 times better than nothing. So, I would consider it. Tony Goose, welcome to the stream. Campero, welcome to the stream. Hello from Puerto Rico. Wow. Hello from New Jersey. 52 states is Puerto Rico. Or Greenland? Greenland, there's another idea. Greenland. Hey, you know what I thought was interesting? What was it, Florida? See, the Goldbacks, initially, The denominations were 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50. I see Florida, I believe it was. Yeah, Florida put out a 2 Goldback note. Initially, it was 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50. There was no 2. But Florida put out a 2 Goldback note, which is pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Let me see. Did the other states end up coming out? Let me see. Utah 2 Goldback note? Is there one? I don't think so. No, it might just be Florida. Hey, you know what would be cool? Imagine, oh man, imagine if and when Alaska puts out their Goldbacks. Alaska would be sick. All right, let me do Florida Goldback notes. Let me see, because I want to get, you know, I was thinking about getting the 1, 5, and 10, and then I noticed that there's a 2. By the way, if you want to see some beautiful art, everybody stop what you're doing. And if you don't know what it looks like, Google Florida 5 Goldback note. It's like the pirate woman. Oh my god, that thing is insane. Like, that thing looks like it should not only be a Goldback, but it should be a poster for someone to put on their wall. That thing is insane. That thing looks like a tattoo that should be on someone's friggin' bicep. I swear, these Goldbacks are just getting better and better. Cooler and cooler looking. Indeed, just hoping Missouri will be the next after Arizona and Oklahoma. Don't forget Canada. Yeah, Canada was my initial joke when I said 51st state. Yeah, get some Maple Leaf Goldbacks. How about that? The 1 Canadian Goldback can have a maple leaf on it, and the 5 can have a hockey puck. You think silver will continue to drop this week? You know, I don't know. I want to say no, but then again, it really surprised me that it even dropped at all this past week. That really, really surprised me. I mean, if there was like a minor pullback, if it dropped down like from, I mean, it touched $35. If it fell down to like 32, I would have been like, you know, could have saw that coming. But now under 30, I don't know. I didn't really that kind of caught me off guard. So I want to say no. I feel like it's not gonna continue to drop this week. You know, not that I can really predict these things, and I personally don't like making predictions, but if I had to place a bet, I would say this upcoming week we close in the green. We might not have a green Monday, but I think overall we're going to have a green week. Is what I would go with if I had to put money on it. If I had to put some silver on it. Got a safe already. Wife just likes to be able to look at them. Oh, so that was just a... Okay, well, okay, good. You have a safe already then. That's cool that your wife is interested in them. Because I've talked to a couple people, and yeah, they've, you know, their wives know that they have the silver and the gold. Some of them just kind of shared it with the wife because it's just like an interest of theirs. Like, you know how a lot of wives don't really care for like football or basketball, but if you want to sit down and watch the game, to them it's like just staring at just like a wall. A lot of like wives or girlfriends like aren't super into it. Some are, which is awesome, but some just like don't care, and it's as if they're watching a TV that's off. They're just so bored out of their mind. That's kind of how like some of the people's wives saw the coins. They're like, okay, that's a boring hobby and I don't really care. Like they just didn't really care. Some of these guys presented it to their wife in the most wrong way possible. They were like, hey, I'm going to start getting silver because our dollar is going to go to zero and the world's going to be over and this is our only chance. Like, they presented it like that. So their wife not only, you know, probably thinks that, you know, silver is, like, boring or whatever, but now they think their husband's crazy. The sky's falling and the silver's the only chance we have. We gotta stock up on all these MREs. We gotta get these 5-gallon buckets and fill them up with 10-year shelf life food. We gotta get these water filtration systems and we gotta build an underground bunker. Like, they go all in. They just all of a sudden they flip the switch and then they just tell their wife like that. I'm like, oh, don't do that. Just be like, hey, something that I think is cool. Friends with a lot of people that are doing this and we're having fun. It's just something that we find interesting. Goes up in value and the dollar bill, you know, as, you know, inflation kind of does its thing and the same amount of money buys us less and less each year. The silver kind of like silver and gold, you know, a lot of the time they go up in value and could be a way of like kind of like hedging against that. If you want to present it like that, I think that's the smartest way to present it to the spouse, to the wife, or to the husband if we still have any women in the chat. If you want to get your significant other on board, present it to them in a rational, clear-minded, objectively thinking way. Let's see. And a half Goldback. We're getting crazy now. Half Goldback? Half Goldback? Oh, you know what? I did see that the other day. I forgot all about that. Oh, man. Yo, I just found the perfect gift for my mother. She loves horses. Oh my God. If I got her a half Goldback note, man, what's the next friggin' thing coming up? Oh, hey, look at that. Mother's Day is next month. Yo, I swear to God, I'm getting her a half Goldback note. Oh, you know what? Yeah, she's just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. She doesn't like Florida. She lived in Florida for a very short while, did not have a great experience. And she told me, well, she doesn't have anything super against Florida, but she said she'd never move back to Florida. So she's just gonna have to deal with that it's a Florida Goldback. But yeah, she's a horse fanatic. If any of you are on Instagram, number one, follow me on Instagram. But two, Mama DYDSS has an Instagram account, and I believe she has posted several pictures of horses. Yeah, she's a huge horse fanatic. She loves horses. Let me see. Let me pull up her Instagram. It's at Mama DYDSS. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she didn't. Oh, yeah, she posted some pictures. Yeah, she's like super into horses. Here, I got a somewhat picture. Yeah. Give her a follow at Mama DYDSS. Go comment on one of her pictures and say half Goldback. She'll have zero idea what on God's green earth is going on. Can everybody do that? If everybody here has an Instagram, can you go to Mama DYDSS's Instagram page and just comment half Goldback? And then I'll text her tomorrow and I'll say half Goldback. She'll be, what? Why is everybody saying this? She'll say, what did you do? And the cool thing about the half Goldback is technically that's only worth about $1. It's only about $1.50, $1.60 worth of gold. I would imagine they're being sold for $3-4. Easy. Forgot all about that. Thanks for the reminder. For a split second, I saw the half Goldback, I think yesterday or the day before. I just paid attention to the fact that it was a half Goldback. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Weird and interesting. I didn't even look at what it looked like. It's a girl on a horse. Man, she'd freaking love that thing. Metals tariffs were priced in from 2 weeks ago, so hedge funds and banks predicted it to stay above 32 with no tariffs on metals. It had to drop. Yeah, you know, I would imagine that had a lot to do with it. You know, as soon as, you know, as soon as tariffs became like the #1 topic of discussion, I made a video about it, and I talked about how I was specifically talking about Canada, but I was mentioning how tariffs on Canadian goods and the retaliatory tariffs, and I was talking about how, you know, it could potentially lead to heightened premiums on Canadian silver maple leafs, or just silver and gold maple leafs, because, #1, in order for U.S. sellers to acquire maple leafs, if tariffs are part of the equation, it's going to cost them more money to get the maple leafs. So then to sell the maple leafs, they'd have to crank up the premiums even more, which gets passed on to us. So for a generic silver round really only being worth about $30, with a premium of, let's just say, $3, you get it for about $33, maybe $34. Silver Eagles, $35, $36. Maple leafs, those could end up having like a $10 premium for each 1 ounce maple leaf. You never know. I don't know. So I made a video about it, just talking about, hey, this is what's going on right now. This is what's being talked about, and this is something that could potentially become a reality. And I also mentioned how not only could that, the example that I just gave, cause premiums on maple leafs to go up, but let's just say the U.S. sellers say, hey, you know what? It's not worth carrying maple leafs because it's going to cost us a lot more to buy them. It's going to cost the customer a lot more to buy them from us. Not worth it. We're just not going to carry them, or we're just going to carry a significantly smaller amount of them, which means here in the U.S., newer maple leafs might be a little bit more scarce, fewer of them going around, harder to find, and supply and demand, if there's a demand for them, but not a massive supply of them, that alone could crank up the premiums, which could double the premium that I just talked about. You never know. Then I made an update on it, because there was a tariff adjustment, certain exemptions, and yeah, doesn't look like the precious metals are going to be affected by the tariffs. But yeah, you know, obviously it doesn't just go for Canada. It could go for Mexican Libertads as well, Chinese Panda coins. Hey, everybody watching right now, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it. Feeds the video to the algorithm a little bit more when you have more likes and comments and whatnot. Gives it a little bit of a boost. Hey, D of B&D Farm, you mind if I ask you a question? Daylight savings time. Are you for it or are you against it? And I don't mean to single you out, but the whole big argument for changing your clocks, I was always told, oh, it's for the farmers. We do it for the farmers. It's to help the farmers. I never understood that. But being that your username is D of B&D Farm, I'm going to go ahead and assume you have a little bit of insight, or maybe a little bit more insight than the rest of us. I've been a prepper my whole life, so my wife is not surprised I'm finally into silver as our only chance to survive. Really, I was just gonna better buy silver. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, if you've been a prepper for years, here's the thing. You know what's funny? The funny thing about preppers, and by the way, I was prepping before I was stacking, and I've been stacking for over 7 years. And I'm a fairly young guy, too. And my grandfather, he wasn't like a doomsday prepper, but he was like what I would call a common sense prepper. He had like a backup for pretty much everything. Any type of like tool or supply. Like he was like a just in case prepper. You know, in case the power goes out, he has all this stuff. In case this happens, he has all this stuff. So I kind of got it a little bit from him. And as a kid, I always thought it was like mildly ridiculous. I'm like, yo, this guy, this guy. He's got a backup flashlight for his backup flashlight for his backup flashlight. This guy. So as a kid, I was like, it makes sense, but it's also a little bit ridiculous. And then I remember going to work during Hurricane Sandy, which was 2012, 2013, I can't remember. I remember going to work, and I remember the town that I lived in, we didn't have power for like a week and a half. The town that I worked in was like half up and running. The grocery store had like a generator, but it only like half the store was lit up, and it was, you know, most of the power was kind of focused on their refrigeration system. Um, and I remember it was like temporarily cash only because we didn't really have really nobody in the area had like the power or the electricity for like electronic transactions. So you couldn't use a credit card or a debit card. So everything was cash only. And I very specifically remember being in front of the exit door at a grocery store, and I would see these people who were like, they were well off individuals. They weren't like, I mean, I don't know their financial status, but like I don't know if they were like mega millionaires, but they were doing all right. They had like nice new cars. They were, you know, the guys were wearing like the button down shirt or maybe a suit. The women, you know, were dressed all like, you know, business, you know, and stuff like that. And some of these people that like appeared to be rich were going in, grabbing loaves of bread, and just walking out without paying. And I guess in their minds, they're just like, hey, if I get hit with a fine, I'll pay it. But right now, but the reason they were doing it was because they had credit cards and debit cards, and in a world where you don't really have power, it means you can't swipe that credit card or debit card. And I know that common sense tells us, then hit the ATM and get the cash if you got the cash. You got the debit card, go to the ATM. Well, guess what? The ATM was down too because once again, no power. They didn't have a way to access their own cash. They might have had $1 million in their checking account. Couldn't use it. How crazy is that? If all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, in the blink of an eye, everything kind of became cash only, and you don't have access to your own cash, they had no choice but to like steal bread. And these were people that were probably making like really good money, had absolutely no reason to steal, and at no other point would they even consider stealing. But they had no choice. They were like, I have the money, I don't have access to it, and my kids have to eat. So Hurricane Sandy is kind of what woke me up. I realized, I was like, man, because you take these things for granted. Here's another thing you take for granted: your dominant arm. The last 2 weeks, I've been in a sling. About a month, almost a month and a half ago, I got injured at work. For the first 2 weeks, I was referring to it as a back injury because that's what hurt. That's what still currently hurts, my back. Went through probably 12 different doctors, had a bunch of x-rays done, all this stuff. As it turns out, it's technically classified as a shoulder injury because it's the shoulder muscle that's connected to the back. And right where it connects is what hurts. I brought that up so randomly. But So anyway, that's something else I realized. I was like, man, I really take my dominant arm for granted. During Hurricane Sandy, I remember saying, man, I really took power for granted. You think to yourself, hey, if the power goes out, no big deal. I'll play a board game. Oh, read a book. Okay, what happens when the power's out for a friggin' week and a half? Not the end of the world, but I lived through that. I had no power for about a week and a half. Or a week and a day or two, something like that. I don't remember. But no power for a while. And when you have no power, that week and a half feels like an eternity. No access to the ATM to get cash out of it. You know, it could potentially be a really scary time. And it wasn't even a disastrous situation. You know, it's not like our houses were getting like completely like decimated. But, you know, the power went out in our area and you couldn't get it back for over a week. My birthday is coming up. Sorry, I'm going to get back to the chat now. Ryan, welcome to the stream. My birthday is coming up and I'm getting silver again as usual. That is awesome. Now, when you say you're getting silver for your birthday, do you mean you're just going to get silver for yourself? Or are people giving you silver as a birthday present? Regardless of what your answer is, that is awesome. I backed up the truck at 16 and 23 with the premium. Nice. You recognized an opportunity when it presented itself to you. That's why I went so hard in 2018. Oh my God. $14 silver with like $1.50 premiums. Oh my God, take me back. Take me back. I feel like a 100-year-old man. Those were the days. Back in my day. Last buy was 23. 100 ounces. Whoa, not bad. 100 ounces at $23? Not bad. Oh, and that's 23 with the premium. Still not bad. At all. $23 with the premium included back then? I mean, fast forward to, you know, just a week ago, the spot price touched $35, and that's not even including the premium. With the premium, you're looking at almost $40. You got it for 23 with the premium included. That's awesome. It's cool to look at it like that. Then again, take a second to reflect. What was the dollar worth when you did that compared to what the dollar's worth today? Kind of evens things out a little bit. And you really, really realize the power of wealth preservation and storing value. I'm looking for a used TL30 or TL15 that is on the small side, kind of 100 somewhere in the house. Let me see. You want to know the ultimate safe, and you know, it's no recommendation because screw that. It kind of is a recommendation because it's arguably the safest safe you could ever possibly imagine. I do not own one, so this is not coming from the perspective of a happy customer. I don't have one, so I'm not recommending it like that. Like, oh, I have one, you should have one too. Sturdy safes. The brand is Sturdy. Oh my God, those things are like... God, those things are like... Oh, those things are like safes built out of cinder blocks. Like, those are the kind of... like that's the kind of safe... like, you're going to need like an entire crew of people. You're going to need a whole gang of people bringing that safe into your house. Those things are behemoths. But yeah, if anybody's unfamiliar with sturdy safes, look them up. Like, even just to look at the picture. Like, I'm not saying go buy one. Those things are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. But look up sturdy safes. Those things are insane. I know somebody with one. And I would love to get one day. Well, I hate daylight savings. It does not help. That kind of prepper too. 02 is one. Yeah. Yeah. But hey, speaking of preppers, see, preppers, like the ones that are sensible. See, because there's a couple different type of like preppers out there Like there's like the everyday, like, hey, just in case this happens, I have a backup plan for certain things, which is how like normal people should be, but they're just not. There's the second kind of prepper, which is a little bit more elevated. That's kind of probably where I am. I'm kind of in the middle, where I prepared in ways that most people do not. And then of course there's like the extremist type of prepper. Like I watched this video, this one guy, and he was talking about his game plan for when Yellowstone erupts and ashes cover the sky for years and it completely eliminates sunlight from touching the face of the earth, and how he's preparing himself for the next ice age. I'm like, dude, come on, man. That's like, I get it. I don't, I don't disrespect it, but at the same time, like, dude, we have like way more intelligent ways to be preparing for much more likely scenarios, in my opinion. You won't catch me preparing for the next ice age. You can catch me preparing to die if we have another ice age. I don't think we're going to make it out of that, but I don't think human beings are built for that. I don't think human beings are capable of. I mean, come on, man. You think human beings can even stand being outside in the winter for more than 10 minutes? Like, you think we're going to survive an ice age? No. You lock yourself out of the house and you have to wait 15 minutes for someone to unlock the door for you. People are out there friggin' crying. I gotta wait in the car. I gotta blast the heat and my car's cold. Where are my mittens? You gonna live in an ice age? But anyway, so, but the funniest thing, like, some prepper people will say is, you can't eat silver, you can't eat gold. Well, guess what? You can't eat your friggin' flashlight either, Mr. Prepper. You can't eat half of the prepping supplies that you have prepped up. You have your entire basement is, dedicated to all these supplies and just in case products and stuff like that. You can't eat those either. We ain't stacking the silver and gold to eat it. We ain't even stacking the silver and gold to sell it for food. That's not what we're stacking it for. Stacking and prepping are two completely different things. Although, you could say, and I've always said, that stacking is a form of financial prepping. It's prepping yourself, not in the way that they're prepping themselves, but it's prepping yourself for dollar bill devaluation. Dollar bill diminishing purchasing power. Inflation, long-term ramifications of inflation. That's what we're stacking for the most part. We ain't stacking it to eat it. And we ain't stacking it to trade for food, but you never know. Could get to a point we could barter and trade with it if we had to. Let's see. Time change sucks. So, would you guys prefer the way it is right now, when it comes to daylight savings and standard time and whatnot? Would you prefer it to be the way it is right now? It gets darker a little bit. It gets lighter. No. Man, I'm an idiot. It stays darker longer in the morning and the sun sets later in the day, or would you rather have it the other way? Because I was always under the impression that everybody preferred it the way it currently is. It gets darker later. That's the way I like it. That's the way I thought every human being in the world liked it. I didn't know how many people prefer it the other way. Why on God's green earth would you want the sun to come up early in the morning and for it to get dark so early in the evening? Who on the planet would prefer that? What kind of psycho likes that better? Sorry, I'm doing a little too much talking. I neglected the chat a little bit. Do I have a video on safes and storage? I have a few out there. They're older videos, though. I mean, they were probably all filmed like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Yeah, hey, that's something that I can add to the list. I have a note in my phone with video topic ideas. I'll add that. Safes for silver. Okay. I can also cross a couple of these things off the list because I filmed some of these videos today. Like 20. You know what's funny? Back when silver, like a couple days ago when silver was $32, $33, $34, I had a note in my phone for a video topic. It was $29 silver, and you know, like what my response would be if silver were to fall. And before I even got a chance to make that hypothetical video, silver fell into the $29 an ounce range. And I was like, wow, okay, now it doesn't have to be a hypothetical video. So I filmed that today. Guess what? Coming out tomorrow. Let's see. 7CMZ. Welcome to the stream. All right, Mykie. Opinion time. Is silver going to tank or go up on Monday at the stock reopening? I talked somewhat kind of sorta about that a little bit before you got here. I don't, as for Monday, I don't know. My honest prediction, if I had to put a bet on it, I think this upcoming week will close in the green. We might not have a green Monday, but I think overall we're going to have a green week. So it wouldn't really surprise me if we saw even more red on Monday, but I think we're going to close higher than we opened at for the week. That's my prediction. The Russian stuff went nuts. I bought it so cheap and it lasts basically forever if you store it correctly. The Russian stuff. Oh, stainless steel. Wait. Hang on, I gotta scroll up here. Sturdy safe is the best for the educated opinion until you get into the TL 15 to 30 grade. Oh man, that's man. Well, yeah, that's solid. 3/4 of an inch steel door. Body is 5/8. Solid steel. Man. Yeah, I'd love to get a sturdy safe one day, though. Littlefoot, welcome to the stream. I loved your work in The Land Before Time. Sun later? Yeah. To me, that's the obvious answer. Would you rather it, get dark earlier or later? I'd rather it get dark later. I want more sun, I want, I don't want it to be like pitch black at 6 o'clock at night. Why would somebody want that? That makes zero sense to me. Like if I ever overheard somebody saying that, I'd be ready to fight them. Why would you want? Oh my god, the sun stays out later. I hate it. It needs to get dark at 6. What's wrong with you? In Florida, summer, it's light, almost 9 p.m. Oh yeah. Before I went live, you see I don't know where everybody is in the stream, but I'm here on the East Coast. My stream was set to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I had my dog outside like 5 minutes to 8, and I'm out there. It's dark, but it's not pitch black yet. And I was thinking to myself, like, at that very second, I was like, I like this. I like it being like 8 o'clock and it's still not even pitch black yet. I like that better. 6 o'clock, pitch black, dark. Ugh, hate the winter. Like that adds to the list of reasons why I hate the winter. I don't like how cold it is. I hate shoveling snow. I hate, driving when the roads are icy. I don't like wearing, 3-4 layers of clothing. I don't like wearing, I just hate everything about the winter. Nothing I like about it. I don't even like looking at snow. It's blinding. The middle of the day, 2 p.m., all that light's just reflecting right off the snow, blaring into my eyes. I hate the winter. And, you get home from a bitter, miserably cold day just for the sun to be setting at 6 o'clock. I hate it. Everyone who isn't crazy. Yeah. Which, like I was just saying, I was under the impression that that's what everyone wanted. Because I've always talked about it. You know, before, it's recently come up. It's recently been being talked about. It's funny. Donald Trump can, like, literally say anything in the world, and he'll get the, like, entire planet talking about something. And he randomly said one day, somebody took a screenshot of it, and I saw it on Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it. Something about abolishing, like, the changing of times. And all of a sudden, everyone and their brother started talking about it. But I remember talking about it like 10 years ago, and I was wondering, I was like, man, how much friggin' money do I have to raise to abolish daylight savings time? I mean, technically, if you really want to get into it, I prefer daylight savings time as opposed to standard time. Standard time is when it gets dark earlier. I do not want that. The way it currently is, the way the clocks, as it stands, leave it this way forever. Do not, from here on out, do not change the time. Leave it where it is right now. I'll be happy. I was under the impression that everyone thought that. Because in my mind, what kind of psychopath wants it to get dark earlier? Why would you want that? Like, what? Where does that benefit anybody? To me, it doesn't make sense. So, I was under the impression everybody was on the same page as me. As it turns out, there are people that prefer it the other way, which makes zero sense to me still. I like dark mornings and longer days. Yeah, exactly. Telling me you like dark mornings and longer days is no different than telling me you like to eat and drink and sleep. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. That's like, yeah, imagine somebody coming up to you and be like, hey, I don't like food. Imagine a psychopath saying something like that. I don't like food. Just think about that for a second. I hate food. I don't like eating. I don't like eating. I'd rather not eat. I enjoy starvation. Imagine someone saying something like that. Sun up first. You forgot. Do chores in the morning. It's nice to have the sun up already. Do the chores an hour later. I wake up at 5 a.m., so I like it dark, and I wake up with my coffee. Yeah. Hey, by the way, this is coming from me, the guy speaking right now. My alarm goes off at 3:45 in the morning every single day, and I still prefer to stay dark as late as possible. Robert, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Snow sucks. I'm in Florida, and I can't deal with it under 50. Oh, man. See, you're lucky. Florida's been calling my name for years and years and years. When I eventually wrap up the New Jersey chapter of my life, which has been the chapter of my life since the day I was born, Florida will more than likely be where I end up. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there, but I know I'm going to complete life in Florida. That's where I will spend the rest of my life once I get there. I love Florida. I have visited Florida. I've heard so many amazing things about Florida. My uncle for years lived in Florida. His job had him move to Virginia. He likes Virginia, but man, he had such a gorgeous house in Florida. Like, he had like a tropical backyard. It was so sick. Like, he had a hammock between two palm trees. Dude, oh my God. It was like living in a mini tropical resort. So cool. Kind of enjoy it, but I had 18 years in the sun in Hawaii. Oh, Hawaii. You see, as beautiful as Hawaii is, and I've never actually been there, I've been to Aruba and I've been to the Bahamas. As beautiful as these islands are, I wouldn't want to live on an island. Because in order to go anywhere, you have to get on a plane. I'd rather just drive to where I need to go. Not that, driving to another state is a regular thing for me. I can't even remember the last time I left New Jersey. I went to, let's see, it had to have been either New York City or Philly. So yeah, I probably did that. No, I have not left New Jersey in over 5 years. I have not, probably close to 10 years. Somewhere between 5 and 10 years. I'm trying to think. I went to Paducah, Kentucky. I went to Fairfield, Connecticut. These were just little trips, for like work and stuff like that. Paducah, Kentucky. With a couple little pit stops along the way. I think that was, I forget how long of a drive that was, 11 hours or something. A couple little pit stops in a couple random states. Fairfield, Connecticut. Obviously, New York City and Philadelphia very, very, very frequently. Went to Ohio with a friend of mine. Lived in Lima or Lima, I don't know how it's pronounced. Outskirts of Columbus. Ohio's nice. Ohio's cool. Ohio is cool. One thing I have against Ohio is that it's nice, but the weather would be a major downgrade. New Jersey's cold enough, and Ohio gets a little bit colder. New Jersey, it rains enough. Ohio, it rains even more. And I know it rains a lot in Florida too, but it's not cold, miserable rain like Ohio and New Jersey in the early spring. Do the chores now. Yeah, let's do it later. You can wait. New Jersey is a no-fly zone for me. I understand. It's borderline a no-fly zone for me, and I live here. Just don't do South Florida. Yeah, no, if I had... I mean, not to say I don't have any say in the matter, but where I would really like to end up is I'd like to live kind of like... I'd like to live in Florida, but like kind of close to the borderline between Florida and Georgia. So northern Florida, and preferably not like on the coast. I mean, I wouldn't want to live on the coast of any state. I want the beach to be accessible. I just don't want it to be too accessible. Especially when it comes time for storms. All kind of fruit trees, coconuts. Oh man. Hey, speaking of avocados, you know what, see, I just got back to work after being out for a month with an injury. While I was out with the injury, Mama DYDSS, who, by the way, once again, everybody watching, if you have not yet followed Mama DYDSS on Instagram, my mother, I convinced her to get on there. If you haven't followed her, give her a follow. And comment on one of her pictures, half Goldback. We were talking about the half Goldback notes before. She has no idea what Goldbacks even are, and I just think it would be kind of funny to confuse her. So yeah, just go comment on her pictures, half Goldback. She'll be like, what? And I'm going to tell her, half Goldback tomorrow. And she's going to be like, what the heck did you do? But yeah, why did I bring her up? Oh yeah, she got me avocado toast. I've always wanted to try avocado toast. Went my whole life, never had it. She got some for me. She drove me, because she got a new job recently, kind of close to where I work. And we live like 5 minutes away. We live in the same town. I can get to her house in like 5 minutes. So she said, you know the area better than I do. You're out with an injury, and I have the day off. Want to go with me while I go for the drive, just so I can kind of get used to it. And you know the area, so we want to go. I said, yeah, I'll go. On the way back, she got me some avocado toast, and oh my god, I found my new favorite snack. New favorite snack of all time. Avocado toast. on, you know, toasted sourdough bread with the everything bagel seasoning on top. Oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever. Do yourself a favor. Get you some avocado toast. Dunkin' Donuts sells it. Avocado toast. Toasted sourdough bread with the avocado spread on top and the everything bagel seasoning on. Oh man, it's so good. I liked it so much, I went to the grocery store the other day and I bought sourdough bread, avocado spread, and everything bagel seasoning. I was like, I gotta make myself this friggin' for myself all the time now. I've never had avocado before. I've never even had guacamole. Nothing. Never mind. I've always wondered what it tastes like. I had no idea. I've always wanted to try it for whatever reason, just never got around to trying it, and wow, I've been missing out. It's like I was born again, is how I would explain it. That's how good avocado toast is. If you've never had avocado toast before, you need to get some avocado toast. If you haven't had any before, you're ripping yourself off. You are scamming yourself. Avocado toast is where it's at. Avocado toast is just like I words can't even describe it. It's like falling in love for the first time. It's like I met the one, and the one just so happens to be toasted sourdough bread with avocado spread on top of it and everything bagel seasoning to top it all off. Avocado toast, man. It's something else. Imagine somebody randomly clicked on my video, hey, what's this guy talking about? And it's just me friggin' freaking out over avocado toast. Let me get back to the chat. Got a mic. Oh, where'd it go? Got a micro climate going on with the fencing and tree kind of. Well, that's cool. You know, I've had something in my Amazon shopping cart for like months now. You know, I just went through the entire winter, so I didn't want to get it now. I was like, well, I have no use for it at the moment. It's a hammock, and it's more of like a, I don't want to say like a camouflage hammock, but it's like it kind of blends in. It's not black, it's not red. It's like an army green and like brown color kind of. It's not supposed to be camouflage, but that's just kind of like the color scheme of it. Man, I'm gonna take that thing to like the friggin' woods. Tropical savanna, tropical monsoon, and tropical rainforest. Ooh. Hey, speaking of the rainforest, has anyone ever been to like Costa Rica or anything like that? Because I heard of this facility in Costa Rica, like in the middle of the rainforest, or I mean, not even Costa Rica, but like, I guess technically more of like jungle, but whatever. I want to go to a rainforest one day. Like, I want to go on like a rainforest vacation. Hey, has anybody ever been to the Rainforest Cafe? That place is sick. That was like my favorite thing to do as a kid. Go to the Rainforest Cafe. The whole rest of the state is humid, subtropical. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. They're like, oh, you don't want to... I tell them about Florida. And that I want to move to Florida. And they're like, oh, yeah, the humidity, though. Listen, dude, I'll take 365 days of humidity over one day of a tiny bit of snow. It gets, you know, kind of humid here in New Jersey, too. And people are, like, hyperventilating. Like, oh, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And I'm like, dude, it ain't even that freaking bad, bro. I mean, it is humid. I'll admit, it is humid. But I prefer brutal humidity over brutal cold. So whatever. You haven't had an avocado until you had a Miami one? Is a Miami avocado, like, code for, like, some kind of drug or something? Because that kind of sounds like a thing. Oh, man, I hit a Miami avocado the other day. Man, I was on another freaking planet! It sounds like one of those things. But I know you probably mean that avocados grown in Miami, like quite literally. No, yeah, no, I have not had one, and I've had avocado like 3 or 4 times in my life now, as of just like a week ago. You drive to the next town north and feel the difference. It's wild. Yeah, it's kind of like how it is in New Jersey. You drive to the next town over and you feel the difference in danger. I have dwarf varieties of mango and avocado. I want a Chilena walnut, but it doesn't get cold enough. Avocado is so good. You can make a paste with whatever seasoning, and it's like you would mayo. Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, avocado is like surprisingly versatile. Avocado BLT. That's interesting. Wow, I've never heard of that before actually. Huh. Have you ever visited Silvertown in Indiana? No, I've never even. Patrick, welcome aboard. First of all, I've never even been to Indiana, so no, I haven't been to Silvertown, Indiana. I've been to, or I've driven past a street named Silver Lake Avenue or something like that, but I've never been to Silvertown in Indiana. I have not. There's a town here in New Jersey called Little Silver. Haven't been there either. You can live on it with fats and protein, nutrient dense food. So is coconut. Yeah. Hey, by the way, this isn't like a product plug or anything like that, but you brought up coconut, and I have to do it. Something else I tried for the first time the other day. This is a new Celsius flavor that came out, like the pina colada flavor. And yeah, as soon as this thing started getting advertised, I was like, oh, I gotta get one of those. I gotta find that. I gotta hunt that down. Couldn't find it. Been to 7-Eleven, didn't see it. Quick Check, didn't see it. I'm looking all over the place. Walmart, they didn't have it. I'm like, God, where can I find this thing? I haven't even tried it yet, and I know it's my favorite flavor. And then I finally found it. I think, scratch that. I did find it at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven was my third attempt at a store, and they had it, thankfully. Tried it out. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Amazing. Speaking of coconut, pina colada. Anyway, yeah, and back to avocado and like, and whatnot. Does it go bad fast? Like, if you have like avocado spread in the fridge for more than like 3 or 4 days, does it go bad? Because I bought it and I only got like 2 days out of it and it started going bad. I had to throw it away this morning. I was so upset. I was like, oh my God. My favorite snack ever. Recently discovered favorite snack. Avocado spread on toasted sourdough bread with the everything bagel seasoning on top. Oh, man. And I had to throw away the main ingredient. Technically, there's a rainforest outside Vancouver. Vancouver rainforest. Let's see. What's the temperature like there? I don't understand. I thought Canada was like a hostile frozen wasteland. But there's a rainforest? I used to coach this kid in basketball. Or kids. They were all like about like 12 or something like that. And this one kid, it was weird. This was like a 35-year-old man trapped inside a 12-year-old's body or something like that. And he was going on to explain to me that Canada doesn't actually exist. And I'm like, dude, just shut up and dribble the ball, please. I do not have the energy for this. I don't have the brain capacity to listen to your 12-year-old conspiracy theories. Canada doesn't exist. You know that, right? What did you say? He's like, yeah, Canada doesn't actually exist. I'm like, just don't. Oh, God. His name was David. His name is David. He was a twin. His twin sister's name was Sarah, and she was like a basketball megastar, and this kid David was really only there because his parents made him be there, and he did not even really want to move. But yeah, his sister, she was a basketball megastar. Washington State too. It rains a lot there. Yeah, Washington's. Yeah, that's true. Hey, you know what's weird? This is like accidentally a major coincidence. I was just talking about twins that I coached, and you mentioned Washington. I know of two twin guys um, in Washington, and they're like they used to be commercial divers, and now they own like, and they still do commercial diving, but it's not like their career. They own like a seafood restaurant, and they do their own commercial diving to get the fish or to get everything really. Like I was like, man, talk about grind time. Imagine that. Imagine commercial diving, or just or not maybe not commercial diving, but like they have a boat and they go like mega fishing. Like I'm not talking about a fishing rod. Hope I catch a fish. They have like massive net. They have everything. So imagine doing that to keep your restaurant afloat, and then you spend like 10, 12 hours a day not only owning your own seafood restaurant, but like running everything and do it's crazy. That's awesome. Good for them. I forgot the mountain range, but in between Washington and the next state to the east, I think Idaho. Temperate rainfall. That's interesting. In the valley of the mountain range, huh? Washington State is beautiful. Too bad the politics are the way they are. Yeah. Fresh coconut water right off the palm is the best. More kids will climb up with a machete, then crack them open. Nice. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I remember being a kid. Like I'm, you know, I New Jersey, born and raised. We couldn't climb up coconut trees or palm trees for obvious reasons, but yeah, I like I've always said that I spent like my childhood in a tree. We were climbing trees. We were doing all types of crazy stuff when we were kids. I remember when I was like a teenager, me and a group of my friends, I don't know how we got into it or who the first one was, but for some reason, we got super into parkour. If you guys know what that is, it's like this crazy, like evasive obstacle course, jumping, climbing, flipping over things. Like it's crazy. Like those people that like jump off of buildings and they land and roll like just the right way where they don't hurt themselves and they backflip and they jump sideways and spin through all these crazy we got super into that for whatever reason. And I remember climbing up to the top of tennis court fences, like you know those super high, what are they, 12-foot fences or something like that. I remember climbing up to the top of those and jumping off into the grass. And yeah, you know, I was pretty decent at this. One time I didn't stick the landing perfectly, and I went to, you know, the second your feet touch the ground, you automatically roll, and you kind of just like the impact, kind of like I don't remember exactly how to explain it, but instead of the impact like hitting the ground on your feet, shocks right into your knees and whatnot, like just like jumping off of anything. By doing the roll, it kind of breaks up that entire impact. So instead of like 100% impact on your feet and like lower half of your legs, it's like instead of 100% impact on that, it's only 25%. 25% on your upper legs, 25% on like your lower back, and 25% on your upper back, and you just kind of roll with it, and you're not really phased. I remember one time I did it slightly wrong, and yeah, I just banged my head. Thank God I was on like grass, but I banged my head on the ground during the roll, and man, I was seeing stars, like literal stars. Like everything was flashing. It was. I got up and I'm like spinning. I'm like, whoa, won't do that again. But see, more kids need to do that though. More kids need to climb up I know this is gonna sound bad, but more kids need to climb up things that are too too high up, and they need to jump off of them, and they need to hurt their leg or hurt their arm and fall down, get dirty, get scratched up. Like, more kids need to do that. More kids need to, like, test their limits and get outside and get roughed up a little bit. Like I know it's not good to say that climbing up a 14-foot tall fence and jumping off and banging my head on the ground was a good thing, but, you know, it's better than being bubble wrapped. You know what I mean? Depends on how ripe it is. Pick them when a week before they soften up. Once you cut them open, they get brown after a day, in my experience. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. I only had that avocado spread for a couple days. Vancouver reminds me of Ireland. You know, I've never been to Vancouver or Ireland, so I can't really... I can't really... Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to either. Temperate rainforest. It rains a lot, and the winter isn't bitter, like 30s to 50s. Huh. That's interesting. Wait, are we still talking about the Canadian one? I want to go to Ireland one day. You know, this is going to sound weird. I'd love to go to Finland one day. And I know all that crap I was just talking about. I hate the cold. I hate the winter. I know Finland is like friggin' living in an igloo. I understand that. But when I was a kid, for some reason, I found this really niche music genre, which is like Finnish rock music. And for whatever reason, I looked into like Finland and just how beautiful it is, despite how cold I know it's going to be. And, you know, I branched out even further than that. I was like, Finnish foods, Finnish desserts. I'm like, man, this is some really, like, this is interesting. Like, you don't hear this kind of music or eat these kind of foods or have these kind of desserts or even see people wearing these kind of clothes here. Like, it's just so... Finnish culture is actually really interesting. The old country, I jumped out of an oak tree and right into a board with a huge... Oh! Right through my foot. It's not bad. I'm like, ooh, man. Ugh, I hate hearing about stuff like that. Man, because I actually did that at a good friend of mine's house when I was maybe... Man, we were probably like 13, 14. I mean, I didn't jump out of a tree. I jumped off of the top of the deck. I think it was maybe like... It was only like 5 steps. It wasn't anything extreme. If you see a 13-year-old jump, you know, 5 stairs, it's kind of like seeing a car drive by. It's not that big of a deal. I just so happened to land on something with a nail sticking out as well. So yeah, I've been there. On a smaller level, but I've still been there. Finland is Russia cold. Yeah. Yeah. And I've never been to Russia either. But yeah. No, yeah, seriously. It's cold. I don't like the cold. But I'm willing to tolerate it and visit Finland one day. That's one thing that's like truly on my bucket list. And I don't really have that big of a desire to travel. I've never really had... That's never really been me. Like, I dated this girl one time, like, that was like her thing. She's like, I want to travel. I want to see the world. And I'm like, I don't. I was like, listen, I'm not like one of those people like, oh, I just want to stay home all day. Like, there are plenty of things that I want to do. I have so much stuff on my bucket list. But there really isn't anything on my bucket list that involves, like, traveling all over and experiencing the world. I'm not into it. I would love to go to Italy, because if there's 3 things that I like, it's Italian food, Italian ice, and Italian women. And I'm Italian. I'd like to go to Finland, because when I was, like, a friggin' 11, 12 years old, into my, you know, teenage and high school years, and even after high school, I was super into Finnish rock music, and I just, you know, I grew so fascinated by Finnish culture, and I, you know, started looking into Finnish foods and desserts and stuff, and it just seems cool. And, you know, like, the northern lights in Finland would be, like, insane. Like, I don't know, something about Finland. I would just love to go there. That's one place that I'd really like to go before I die. And I think I can make that happen, because I think I have Many, many, many decades before that happens, hopefully. God willing, I will make it to Finland one day. Just for a trip. I most certainly wouldn't want to move there. Morgan Fitz, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday to you, your friends, and your family. Hope all is well. I just moved to Romania. Whoa. From where, if you don't mind me asking? Romania. You don't hear a lot about Romania, which might be a good thing. Just finishing my visa at the moment. That's pretty cool. Moved to Romania from where is what I'm wondering. Oh, okay. How long does it take you to get from one to the other? Like plane wise. That's an interesting move. If you don't mind me asking, why? 20 hours, Jesus. You know, I hear a lot of people that have been to Australia. Oh my God, Australia would be awesome. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do that plane ride. Oh, for work. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. If you made that decision on your own, I'm gonna leave Florida and move to Romania. That's a very, very. Unless you're like Romanian by ethnicity. Other than that, it would be a strange move. Other than like for work, I was like, man, that's super random. It'd be like just as random as randomly moving to Finland, like I was just talking about. Gotta get have a good one. Ryan, appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for stopping by. Met a beautiful woman. Before or after moving there? Well, I'm assuming after, but you never know. Some people could be in contact with someone prior to moving somewhere. I will eventually sell my Australian silver and use it to help pay for a trip to Australia. Whoa! That's interesting. Hope you don't sell all your silver to do that. Or, I mean, all your Australian silver to do that. Australian silver's nice. And I'm not just talking about like the kangaroo. I mean, Australia puts out a lot of interesting coins. I mean, even like the everyday stuff, like the kangaroo, which is obviously a nice coin, the koala, which is a nice coin, the kookaburra, which is a nice coin. They have more than just that. Polish. Are they kookaburras? You know, the kookaburra is another one that I kind of always liked. Like, I'm pretty sure I only have one kookaburra, and it's a gold kookaburra, the 10th ounce. But similar to a lot of the Canadian coin series that have come out, like the Birds of Prey, the Predator series, Wildlife, more recently Creatures of the North, which I will never, ever, ever understand why that series got canned after 2 coins. Like, I'm heartbroken over that still. But hey, it is what it is. In addition to a lot of the Canadian coin series that have been released, I've always really been drawn to the kookaburra. And I've never gotten any. I've never gotten any silver kookaburras. But while we're on the topic, let me see. Or actually, let me Google. Australian kookaburra silver coin. Start year 1990. Okay, I knew it was the 90s. 1990. All right, so if you wanted to start that coin collection today, you would have over 30 different coins. 35 different coins that you'd have to get. Let's 1990 silver kookaburra. Let's see what the first one looked like. I don't even know if I remember. Oh my God, $398. Jesus Christ. $400 for an ounce of silver. Hey, you never know, people. Fast forward a couple years, a couple of decades, that could be the spot price of silver. But yeah, that's the very first kookaburra. Wow, that's a cool looking coin. What about, you know what? I don't think I've seen the latest one. 2025 silver kookaburra. Let's see. Oh, that's nice. The 2025 kookaburra is a good looking coin. You know who would be super into the kookaburra coins? My grandfather. He loves birds, man. My whole family is we're all like animal fanatics. And we all kind of have our own animal that we're like super into. My cousin, he's like the tiger guy. He likes tigers. My uncle, his dad was super into tigers. My grandfather, both my grandparents, super into birds. They love birds. My mother loves horses, which is why I was saying earlier in the stream, I don't know who in the stream, who watching the stream right now was here earlier in the stream when I said it. But I realized tonight that the Florida half Goldback note has a horse on it. The image is a girl and her horse. My mother loves horses. For her, I don't remember if it was for her birthday or Christmas or Mother's Day or something, but a couple years ago I got her this really nice necklace. It was a heart, and the heart was like formed out of like I think she posted a picture on her Instagram. Let me see if I could. I just pulled up her Instagram before, so I told everybody to go. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, she did post a picture. Let me find it. Yeah, this right here. This is when was that? Oh, that was for her birthday. Okay, yeah. Her birthday a couple years ago. I got her this necklace. Man, she loves that thing. But yeah, it's like a girl and her horse forms a heart. So when I realized tonight that the half Goldback note, which if you want, I'll pull that picture up too. I don't have it, but I'll Google it. Florida half Goldback. Yeah, check this out. First of all, it's not only a girl and her horse. It's like a warrior girl and her horse. Look at this right here. Tell me that's not friggin' perfect for someone that loves horses the way that she does. I'm gonna get her that for Mother's Day. I'm gonna get myself one too. Goldbacks are awesome, man. I don't know what it is, but just a couple of days ago, I've had the 9 different ones that I've had for years now. But just a couple of days ago, I've been like really itching for a new Goldback, and I was thinking about getting maybe the 1, 5, and 10 Florida Goldback notes. And then I discovered that there's a half Goldback, which I thought was interesting. And I was so focused on the fact that it was a half Goldback note, I didn't even notice what the picture was. And somebody here in the chat brought it up tonight, the half Goldback note. So I Googled it again. I was like, yeah, let me take a look at it. And I realized it was that. And I was like, man, she would friggin' love that thing. Let's see. Perth Mint is in the top 3. Yeah, no, for sure. They put out some really cool coins. Hey, does anybody know if the Perth Mint had the same problem that the Canadian Mint had with milk spots? I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't think. I have silver kangaroos. I don't think any of them are milk spotted, though. Does anybody know if, like, the older kookaburras, like the 1990s, early 2000s, were they prone to milk spots? Anybody know? Or anything from the Perth Mint, any Australian coin, doesn't have to be Perth Mint, but anything from Australia, were they prone to milk spots too, or was that a little bit more exclusive to Canadian coins prior to 2018, before they changed up their minting process? And a 2-note Florida Goldback? Yeah, I thought that was, yeah, I thought it was weird. I kind of like just the 1, 5, 10, 25, and 50 concept. And by the way, I don't know why they went with a 25 and not just a 20. In my opinion, I think they should have just done it the way the dollar bills are. 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, and maybe 100? I don't know why they did a 25 note, but hey. Reluctant Stacker, welcome aboard. Happy Saturday night to you, your friends, and your family. Hope all is fantastic. Hope all is well. Misfit, welcome aboard as well. Welcome to the stream, Misfit 138. Nice stack. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, this is just this is pretty much most of what I own that isn't just a Silver Eagle. My stack is relatively boring. A majority of my silver is the Silver Eagle. Second in command is the Canadian Maple Leaf. Third in command, I would assume, I don't really know actually, I would assume it's Washington quarters. I have a lot of Washington quarters. And besides those three, I kind of have like one of everything else. I have one 10-ounce Sunshine Bar. I have one Silver Kraken. I have one 2-ounce and 3-ounce Monarch poured bar. Most of what you're looking at on screen, with the exception of a couple pieces, were just kind of like one-offs. So those are the things that I like to gather and put on the table when I do a video or a stream. Because if you're not looking at this, you're just going to be looking at piles upon piles upon piles of Eagles and Maples and quarters. But yeah, thank you. I'm pretty satisfied with the variety that I have. Here, let me get that gold back off the screen so you can see what else is there. Aztec calendar round. We got some buffaloes, some Queen's Beasts, Libertad. Let's see. I've never had a problem with milk spots on my Australian silver. Yeah, I can't recall off the top of my head if I've ever really even seen. I mean, I think I have, pretty sure I have a kangaroo buried over here. Yeah. Yeah, obviously no milk spotting. I mean, kind of on the Queen side, but it's like, it's so faint. On the kangaroo side, it's, no, I mean, it's toned and tarnished a little bit. Which I kind of like. I kind of like the way toned silver looks. But, you know, I don't recall really ever hearing anybody complain about Australian silver milk spotting. So yeah, you know, the reason I brought that up was because I didn't know if I were to go and get an older Kookaburra coin. Here, let me pull up another one. I saw with the first and the most recent one. What about 1993? Oh, that's nice. What about 2008? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, hey guys! If you haven't, if you don't know offhand what a 2008 Kookaburra looks like, Google it really quick. That's it's pretty cool. He's perched on a tree branch and there's this big spider web behind him. That's actually pretty cool. How about 2012? Let's see. Oh, that's nice. It's kind of cool. Not a whole lot going on, but it's a nice looking coin. 2017. I'm just typing in random years just to see. All right, that has two kookaburras on it. How about 2021? Oh, that was a stupid idea. I have a 2021. It's the only one I have. All right, 2020. I've seen that plenty of times. All right, let me go back. 1997. Man, you really see the difference with the older ones versus the newer ones. The older ones just have they're all different. They change year to year, but it just has such a different style. Like a different style of art. 2002. How about that? I don't really like that one. It's like an underside view of a kookaburra flying, like, I mean, it's nice. It's nicely done. I don't really, what do I know? 2006, let's just see. They're all interesting. They're all cool. All right, anyway, back to the stream. Do you collect Morgan and Peace dollars? What's your preference? You know, it's funny you bring that up. That was one of the first things we talked about when I first started the stream. It was the question I asked everybody. And I'll ask everybody here, and then I'll give my answer. If I knocked on your door tomorrow, and you opened the door and I said, hey, I got a Morgan dollar in one hand, a Peace dollar in the other, same condition, you can have one and I keep the other, which one do you pick? Free of charge. Which one you pick? The Morgan dollar, the Peace dollar? Most people, I've noticed, like 80% of people, maybe 90% of people, pick the Morgan dollar. I love both. But if I had to choose, I like the Peace dollar. And it's funny you bring it up, and it's funny that we even talked about it today because I have one of each right here. I have a cardboard box with a bunch of random coins in it from over the years, and I didn't even realize I had them on me. I knew I had the box, I just didn't know these were in the box because I just threw random things in it. I was digging through it, I didn't think they were in there. I was like, ah, there's no way. There's no way that my life would be convenient enough for me to have them on me. And sure enough, they were in there. It's an 1884 Morgan and a 1922 Peace dollar. And by the way, on the other side of the flip, check out what I have. How many of you know what that is? You can... Let's play a game. Name that coin. That's a 1910, by the way. And the Peace dollar. Yeah, I really like the reverse of the Peace dollar too. It's just like, man, I've always loved Peace dollars. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. It's a beautiful coin, but yeah, I've never, to be honest, truth be told, like, even though I'm super into coins and I have, you know, my fair share of coins, with, you know, a nice variety sprinkled on top of, you know, tubes upon tubes upon tubes of, you know, eagles and maples and whatnot. I've never been super into numismatics. I've never really been a coin collector. I've never, you know, really been into that. For me, I've always kept the stack boring on purpose. But yeah, I mean, it is a hobby of mine. And by the way, really quick, if you don't mind, everybody watching, if you can hit that like button for me, I'd appreciate it if you haven't already done so. Gives the video a little bit of a boost. But no, I don't collect them, Morgan or Peace dollars. I have very few, I think I only have one Peace dollar, and I have less than 5 Morgan dollars. Maybe just like 2 or 3 Morgan dollars. I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe even 1 or 2. I might just have 2. I don't remember, but I have less than 5, and I only have the 1 piece dollar. So no, I don't collect them, but I'm a big fan of both. And if I absolutely had to choose between the two, I would pick the piece dollar, even though I like them both. I have a similar stack. Nice. Piece dollar. Morgans, they're older. True, yeah, they are older. I'd pick the Morgan, my piece dollar. Needs a friend. The barber, that's right. And that's a 1910. So right here we got an 1884 Morgan, a 1910 barber, and a 1922 piece dollar. And let me look through what else I have over here. I have, you know, what's funny is a decent amount of these were actually sent in. When I first started stacking, see, I was already making videos for like 5 years before I even started stacking silver. So I was already like on YouTube. I was already doing this before I even knew that stacking silver was a thing. So years and years and years ago, I was already making videos like every day. And when I stumbled upon the silver stacking world, it was part of my day that one day. So I just happened to make a video about it because I was already going to be filming regardless. And all of a sudden, that drew in a wave of people because I already had videos being released on a daily basis. So I was already within the YouTube algorithm. And as soon as I put out a silver video, that video obviously was posted by a channel that was already in the algorithm, and like by default it got fed out to the people that were stacking silver. And goodness gracious, was I welcomed with open arms. So many people were so happy. I got so many comments back then being like, oh, thank God a young person's into silver. And I had a P.O. box that I used to tell that, you know, people would just, you know, write me letters and stuff, and all of a sudden that P.O. box started getting filled up with like silver, and I'm like, oh man, people, I appreciate it more than you know, but man, I am not great at receiving gifts at all. So yeah, I have a couple coins here, and I'm looking through this other box, seeing if I can find any more. Yeah, I was sent, you know, so many random things, and I have some of them here. I'm trying to... Hang on, I'm trying to get myself a little organized here. I have a bunch of random things. I have older, I have Canadian junk silver here. I have 1930s and 50s. Roosevelt and Mercury dimes. Let's see if I have anything else in here. I have a Buffalo nickel. I have, what is this? Ooh, I have a half dime. How many of you even knew that half dimes ever even existed? I didn't prior to receiving this coin in the mail. Hang on. I'll show off what I'm talking about in just 1 second. I'm kind of just sifting through what I have on me. I didn't even really look at what I grabbed. I just kind of grabbed random things and tossed them in here. Have another Krugerrand in here. Let's see. I'll show off what I'm talking about in just 1 second. I'm just trying to see what I even have. I think I have some standing Liberty quarters in here somewhere too. I just gotta find them. Maybe I didn't bring them. But I do have standing Liberty quarters. I remember I discovered those by accident one day. Alright. Is that it? Do I have anything else I want to show? Let's see. What is this? 10th ounce silver rounds. Hang on. Okay. That's enough looking around. Alright, so I have... What do I have here? I have... Let me look at the chat first. Book Morgan, because now needs a friend. Not into slab coins. Yeah, I've never been fully into slab coins either. You should do more live streams like this. Yeah, I would like to. When I have, like... If I have the ability to, I would definitely love to do more live streams. Only problem is, I don't usually have time to do live streams. I work 2 jobs, and I'm struggling to find time to even film videos. But I happen to have today off, and I have the first half of tomorrow off, so I saw a window of opportunity. I filmed like 3 videos today. I have those locked and loaded, ready to go. And I just saw a window of opportunity to stream tonight. Alright, so we have 2 1956 Roosevelt dimes. Yeah, they're both 1956s. We have, what else do we have over here? Let's see. I have 2 1937 Mercury dimes. Which I'm sure we're all familiar with. I have a 1963 Franklin half dollar. We got a 56 Roosevelt. We have another 56 Roosevelt. A lot of 56 Roosevelts. We have a 1937 Buffalo nickel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, a Buffalo nickel. Don't see a lot of these. You know how we have the gold eagle and the silver eagle? And then we have a pure gold 1 ounce gold Buffalo coin. Not a round, it's a coin. I wish we had a 1 ounce pure silver Buffalo coin. I know we have Buffalo rounds, but I wish alongside the silver eagle we had a silver Buffalo coin, like we have alongside the gold eagle a gold Buffalo coin. Kind of wish we had that. And we also have, what do we have here? What year is this? Man, I can't even see. 18... I think that's 1860? Yeah, 1860. This might be my oldest coin. It's a half dime coin. How many of you guys knew that there was even a half dime? Did you know that half dimes, like it literally says half dime on the back. Like it's not like, I don't know. It's interesting. Not a lot of people know about that. I didn't know about it until I got it. Ernesto, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, where was it? hang on one second. Hang on. I was also trying to yeah, no, the nickel is maybe I'm mistaken. Isn't it also referred to as a V nickel? Like the Liberty Head nickel? Are they not synonymous, or is there a lapse there? And we also have some other random coins that I got. Here's some Canadian junk silver. 1944 quarter and a 1940 dime. Not too crazy about the capsules, but they're cool. Let's see. I think those half dimes are pretty cool. I put those up along with 3 sometime. I think that's what it's called. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what they were referred to as. There was another name. I can't remember off the top of my head. The like super older coins, like the 18, 40, 1880 coins. That's not a strength of mine. I'm not super familiar. But I do know what you're talking about. I can't remember what it's actually called. I found a 40% silver. Never thought I'd see one. Yeah, it's funny. I've been, stacking or involved in the precious metal world for over 7 years, and I've only found one 90% silver quarter and one 90% silver dime this whole time. Not that I'm actively looking. I've never done any coin roll hunting. I'm just talking about casually looking at pocket change when I get change back, or if I, for whatever reason, just have change on me or get change. I always look at the years just because you never know. 7 years have gone by. Only found 1 quarter, 1 dime just by casually looking. We also have 2007. Oh, it's the 10 kroner. It's pretty cool. I don't know the exact metal content off the top of my head. I will look that up in just a minute. We have got some silver from wow. Forgot I even had some of these, to be honest. Huh. I mean, here's another Canadian. What year? Does it say the year? 1964. And this one as well. That's a cool looking coin. 1962. These were gifts. So let me type in. Let's see. Danish coins. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Danish coins. Let's see. Yeah, it might just be straight bronze. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if anybody knows off the top of their head, feel free to let me know. Remember, I looked into it a while ago, like years ago. Like 5 years ago. I'm being quiet for a reason. I'm reading. Trying to figure something out. Let's see. Yeah. Aluminum bronze. Copenhagen mint. Okay. Alright, back to the stream. That Aztec round. Let's see that toning. That's right. Man, it's been a while. You know, I discovered something on Twitter not that long ago. Someone posted a picture of some really discolored silver on a Tuesday, and they called it what do they call it? Toning Tuesday or something like that. And I'm like, hey, I wrote that in my list of videos to make. So one of these Tuesdays I'll have to post, and I was going to use this as the primary focal point of the video. Yeah, this is hands down the most detailed piece of silver that I have. Such a beautiful work of art. You know what else is kind of cool? The Aztec bar. I mean, the design just like fits better on a round, because it's obviously a circular design. But the Aztec calendar bars look pretty cool too, if I do say so myself. Big fan of the Aztec calendar rounds. Yeah, that Aztec calendar round, that's another example of a piece of silver I got before the spot price really took off. I think I got that when like spot price was like maybe $19 or something like that, I think. I don't remember exactly. I pretty 99% sure I got it in 2020. They call them a trine? That sounds familiar. Got a bunch of foreign silver coins at my local coin shop. The silver content is all over the place. For them, I bought them by the gram. I forgot how much, but something really cheap. That's not bad. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's what like kind of like my weak spot is. Foreign, like, quote unquote junk silver. Man, like this thing's like 80% silver. That, like, man, that's so confusing for me. I was like, man, I can't keep track. See, that's why I was like, you know, I'll stick to pure silver, and I'll stick to 90% silver. Anything that's not pure silver at 90%, there's no way I can freaking keep track. And when I first started, I was kind of like, I was kind of anti 90% silver. I was like strictly into pure silver only. 1 ounce and up, 3 9s or 4 9s fine. It's all I wanted. And I kind of neglected the constitutional. I picked up a little bit, but I was super light on constitutional silver until 2020. Spot price got like chopped in half, and then it started recovering, and the premiums went through the roof. And I had noticed that, like, if you calculate it, it's actually a lot cheaper to get 90% silver as opposed to pure silver. Like the premiums on junk silver didn't seem to go up too dramatically just yet. And I was like, hey, well, before that happens, let me get as much 90% as I can. This will just be my new way of stacking for the time being. And yeah, I spent like most of 2020 picking up, or actually probably closer to, no, yeah, it was 2020. 2020 and 2021, I was getting almost nothing but Washington quarters for the most part. And I would pick up like a random thing every now and then. That's when I got the Aztec calendar round. I got that silver gold bull bar. I got that at spot when spot price was, I think, only $20. I got the silver kraken. Yeah, 2020, I got a bunch of weird random stuff. But for the most part, I was just picking up Washington quarters because the premiums weren't nearly as high on junk silver as pure silver. Toner Tuesday. Yeah. I'd never heard of that before, and I saw it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, the other day. And I was like, hey, I got the perfect piece of silver for that. I'm going to steal that idea. Ryan, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday night. I'm a huge fan. I've watched a ton of videos since I started. I'm at 20 ounces. That is awesome, and I appreciate that. That's cool. 20 ounces of silver. How long ago did you start? And what are those 20 ounces of silver made up of? Please don't say silver. I mean, what kind of coins, rounds, or bars are they? Yeah, my 20 ounces of silver are made up of silver. I bought Romanian silver. 1946. Oh wow, yeah, that does. Man, that's. You know, you hate to see it. I don't like that. You know, I said that recently in my updated 25 ounces of silver video. The 25 ounces of silver could save your life video. I originally filmed it 5 years ago, and I recreated it a couple weeks ago with updated numbers. And man, the same 25 ounces of silver back then, $500. Today, well, spot price is down a little bit, but 25 ounces of silver times, like, I don't know, $33, let's just say, $825, that would be. So something that was worth $500 5 years ago is now worth $825 today. Coincidentally, $500 worth of groceries, if you bought those same groceries today, 5 years ago, would cost you $500. Those same $500 worth of groceries today would, coincidentally, also be worth somewhere in the ballpark of $825. So when you zoom out, see a lot of people, like when like an inflation report comes out, like a couple years ago when an inflation report would come out, and people would comment on my videos being like, hey, the inflation report said inflation is high, how come silver is not skyrocketing? I'm like, dude, it doesn't react to a report. It's something that could take years. So when you zoom out, like we've been able to do over the last 5 years, when did this crazy inflation really get kickstarted? 2020. 5 years ago. So if you look at the spot price of silver, 5 years ago to present day, after 5 years worth of stupid inflation, that's when you could tell. Not immediately after one CPI report. Immediately after 5 years of CPI reports. Then you start to see, oh, I see now. It all makes sense. Jack, welcome to the stream. Happy Saturday night to you, your friends, and your family. Yeah, I don't like 90% either. Only Morgan's, probably since it was my first coin I bought. I really like them. My father-in-law was a stacker, and I got that Morgan. Wow, that's pretty cool. So stacking runs, well, ex-father-in-law. Can't say stacking runs in the family, but it runs in the in-laws. And by the way, you say you didn't like Oh, you didn't like 90% either. Okay, I thought you said I don't like 90% either. I was gonna say no. I used to not like it. Now I actually do. But yeah, I started in February 10th. Oh, like a month and a half ago. Wow. 10 1-ounce bars and 10-ounce rounds inspired by your 25-ounce. We'll see. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. That's awesome, actually. Wow. Yeah, it's cool hearing that like a video I made kind of like kickstarted it for somebody, cause people have like commented on my videos too, and they're like, hey, 3 years ago I started investing because of you, or 5 years ago, or in your case 6 weeks ago, started stacking because of something that you said or a video that you put out or something like that. That's pretty cool. I like hearing about stuff like that. And credit where credit's due. Like I wouldn't have gotten started stacking if it weren't for. I mean, he doesn't make videos anymore, but like the overtaxed taxpayer, um, yeah, he's the one that really did it for me. I mean, a friend of mine, a kid I grew up with, uh, childhood friends. He moved, I think, right before high school, so we went our separate ways when we were teenagers, and then maybe a year or two after high school, I forget if he reached out to me or I reached out to him. Like I don't know, we found each other on Facebook or something like that. He moved to Pennsylvania, right next door to New Jersey, so we're not a far drive away. He asked what's going on, and I told him I was like, yeah, me and a couple of friends that because we went to high school or we went to like middle school together. You remember them? This guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. We started a little bit of like a landscaping business, like a little thing we were trying to get off the ground, and that's just kind of what that's what we were doing straight out of high school. And he told me that he didn't have any special way of making money other than his job, but he has a unique way of saving money, and he just mentioned silver. Didn't really understand it, but like I thought it sounded kind of intriguing, and I said, hey, when's the next time you're coming out to New Jersey? You probably got like family out here still. When's the next time you're visiting? So he ended up driving out to New Jersey, visited some family, and then he swung by one of our houses. A couple of us were hanging out at one of our houses, and he came by, and he was explaining the silver stacking concept to me, and it didn't really make sense to me, to be honest with you. I didn't get it. Like it wasn't clicking for me. Like I got it, but I didn't get it. It was like one of those things where I was like, I see where you're going with it, but like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was just the way that he explained it or the way that I interpreted it. I was like, it sounds cool, but I was like, okay. And then I don't know what it was. Like a year and a half later, something reminded me of that conversation that he and I had. This guy Steven, my childhood friend Steven. I came across something, or something just like jogged my memory, and I remember that conversation he and I had about silver coins, and I was like, you know what? Let me look into this. I don't know why it took me a year and a half to like really deep dive into it, but man, did I deep dive! I deep dived into it. Um, I read through so many articles. I looked through so many charts and graphs. I looked at so many numbers, so many stats, and I was starting to watch videos, and I saw like back then, like 2016, 17, there weren't really a lot of silver stacking channels. There were like kind of like 4 or 5 main ones. I will be honest, I don't mean it to be disrespectful. I thought that they were painfully boring. There was like one, maybe two that really stood out to me, and it was this one guy who he's been off YouTube for a couple years now. Um, Learned a lot from him and his videos, and like what you just said to me about like you kind of started stacking because of something that I said in one of my videos. Well, I partially started stacking because of what somebody said in one of his videos, plus my friend that introduced me to the concept. I never would have looked up the video if this guy, my friend, didn't tell me a year before. But I learned a lot from this one channel, plus all the other research that I was doing. I was reading through things, I was looking at charts and graphs and whatnot, and I decided, hey, you know what? Why not? I understand it, and I'm very, very interested in I'm very, very interested in it, but I gotta go and get my hands on a piece of silver for myself and really understand what it's about. I could listen to the videos all I want. I could read about it all I want. It's a whole different ballgame when you go to a coin shop and you get your hands on your very first piece of silver. Man, it's like friggin' magic. You want to know why? Because it was the first time in my life I actually had my hands on money. You feel the difference. And my first piece of silver was a little 1 ounce silver round. I took it home for me, and the rest is history. I got kind of hooked on it. So yeah, I like hearing about stuff like that. So many people have reached out to me, people that I don't even know. I got friggin' 20,000 subscribers. I haven't met a single one of you. And there are people like that I do know in my real life that I've helped them out. I helped my sister get started investing. I've helped, several family members rebuild their credit and max out like rewards categories and maximize cash back. From a credit angle, I've helped out, family members and stuff like that. I've helped a lot of friends, get the ball rolling on, investment portfolios. I've impacted at least 20,000 people in terms of, silver and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Power of the internet, man. I didn't expect any of that to happen. I wasn't a silver channel at the time. I was filming for years prior to even starting. Before I even got my first piece of silver, I was already filming for years and posting on the internet. And I was just vlogging at the time. I was walking around with a camera just filming like, daily things. And part of my daily thing that day happened to be going to a coin shop and getting a silver round. And yeah, that's just kind of how that happened. Power of the internet. When the internet meets, what's the word I want to use here? When the internet meets drive, magic happens. Anyway, enough about that. I started stacking 90% when it was about $12 face. I kicked myself thinking I could have been stacking 90% since it was less than Yeah, it's funny, man. I remember like back in 2018, 2019, when the spot price of silver climbed up to like 18, 19 bucks. And I remember hearing so many people say, hey, yeah, when the spot price hits $20, that's it, I'm done. I will never stack above $20 an ounce. And I'm like, dude, $20 an ounce is only $1.50 away from hitting $20 an ounce. And you say that's going to be the cap? You're saying that's like, that's it? That's all the potential you think silver has? $20? That's the goalpost? I mean, I understand nobody likes to like envision trading their dollars for silver at a price that they've never seen before. I mean, like think of it from this perspective. Imagine $40 an ounce silver when spot price hits $40. I don't want to think about that because I kind of like silver in the $30 range. I like silver even better in the $20 range. The cheaper, the better. So many of us could very easily say, yeah, no, I'll stack at today's prices, but when it goes up to $40, I'm going to stop. It's very easy to say that. And guess what? $40 will eventually come, and I would assume that 99% of us are probably still going to be buying at that point. And guess what? All the people that said, oh, I'm going to stop at $40 an ounce are going to say, I'm going to stop at $45 for $50 an ounce. And the goalpost just gets moved. Because that goal comes a lot quicker than you could imagine. I mean, I had this one guy commenting on my channel back in 2020. I have a screenshot. I have no idea where it is, but it's my favorite thing of all time. He left a comment because I was posting videos back then being like, oh my god, spot price is like $19 and whatever cents. I was like, oh my god, it's so close to $20. I hope we don't see $20, but it looks like we're about to see $20, $20, $20, $20, $20. This guy, he was commenting. He commented on my video, and he'd been posting a lot of negative stuff for a while, but he commented on my video, and he said, mark my words, silver will never hit $20 again. 12 hours later, silver hit $20 again for the first time in years and years and years. First time I'd ever seen it. But he said, mark my words, silver will never hit $20 again. Not even a day later, it hit $20 again, and it rapidly went from $20 to $22, $24, $26, $28 in a very short period of time. And I was like, what'd you say? Man, silver just skipped the line. It went from $20, it went from $19 to almost $30 in just a couple of months, I think. That was a crazy run. 2020 was a wild year. Like, pandemic aside and all that stuff, like, even just, like, exclusively focusing on silver and silver only, it was a wild year just from that, let alone all the other stuff that was going on. Alright, back to the chat. Let's see what's going on. Probably gonna have to hang it up for the night pretty soon, by the way. It's 11 p.m. here on the East Coast, and my laptop battery is dying. Turn the brightness down. Save some juice. Kind of runs in the family. My uncle, godfather, is a stacker also. He is 82. He came over last month, and I sold him 7 rolls of war nickels to India, Mexico, where he lived. Wow. 82 and still at it. That's awesome. That's cool. I'm definitely going by weight, not premium. Oh, should I buy 5 and 10 ounce bars? Big fan of how they look. Yeah, 5 and 10 ounce bars, specifically 10 ounce bars. I've always said that 10 ounce bars are the sweet spot with silver because it's a small enough increment to still be very, very easy to work with and liquidate, but it's a large enough increment to where you actually start to notice the premiums being a little bit lower because the larger the bar, the smaller the premium. 5 ounce, yeah, it starts breaking down the premium, but you don't really notice until you get to 10 ounce. 10 ounce, it's like, oh yeah, I see now. I see, it's like shopping at the wholesale club instead of the grocery store. I'm noticing the difference in price now. 10 ounce bars is like when you really start to notice that. So 10 ounce bars are fantastic for that reason. 10 ounce is the largest denomination I own. For years and years and years, I always said 10 ounce is the largest I will ever go. I recently decided I think I do want to get myself a kilo bar. I think it would be kind of cool to get a kilo bar. Just to do something different. And yeah, the bigger the bar, the smaller the premium per troy ounce. So it does make sense. Getting a 10 ounce bar, like let's just talk about sunshine bars. Getting a 10 ounce sunshine bar will be noticeably cheaper than getting yourself 10 1 ounce sunshine bars. It's the grocery store versus the wholesale club. It's not like a world of a difference, but you notice the premiums getting dropped down a little bit on a larger piece of silver. So yeah, if you like the way that they look, and also, by the way, if you don't own any 10 ounce silver bars, you should get one anyway, because holding a 10 ounce bar, it's like, man, like the first time I like held a 10 ounce bar in my hand, like, it's like you really feel like you're holding on to something like substantial. Like you're holding, like you feel the weight. I mean, we pick things up every day that, you know, weigh more than 10 ounces. But when you have a 10 ounce piece of money in your hand, it's just like, you know in your, like, you know in your heart you're holding on to like real value there. It's pretty cool. First time I picked up a 10 ounce bar, I think I got it. I remember I ordered myself a 5 ounce bar on Black Friday, and I ordered myself a 10 ounce bar on Cyber Monday. This was during my first year of stacking. So they both came in the mail, like, you know, probably early December. And I refused to open up the 10 ounce bar until Christmas Day. I said, you know what? I got this thing, this thing arrived on my doorstep the first week of December. I am protesting it. until Christmas Day. I was like, this is my Christmas present to myself. I opened that thing up on Christmas Day and I said, wow. You're really holding on to something substantial when you grip a 10-ounce silver bar. It's cool. If you don't have a 10-ounce silver bar, get you a 10-ounce silver bar, even if it's just one. You know, even for somebody that's not even stacking, get yourself a 10-ounce silver bar. If it's your first and last piece of silver ever, just get that 10-ounce silver bar and just hold it in your hand. Real money. Got bit by the silver bug. Yeah, I definitely did too. Which is weird because I was introduced to the silver bug a year and a half. See, that's what it was. I saw a silver bug, and then a year and a half later is when I got bit by the silver bug. I didn't get bit right away. That's the thing. I got introduced to it a year and a half before I started stacking. I just didn't really get it. I got it, but I didn't. I was like, all right, you know, I understand enough to know why you're into it, but I'm not sold. And he wasn't trying to convince me to start stacking. He was just telling me, you know, what he does. He said every week when he gets paid, he goes to the coin shop, he gets two silver eagles, and you know, it's just to, you know, basically try to combat inflation. And he was explaining it to me, and this, you know, when you've never even heard of it before, and somebody comes at you with like hedging against inflation, and especially me being like, you know, fresh out of high school at the time, like I didn't get it. I got it, but I didn't. It just didn't click. It didn't fully register. A year and a half later, something jogged my memory, and I was like, hey, I remembered he was talking about silver, so I looked into it and did a ton of research. I researched it for weeks. Watched the videos, read the articles, looked at the graphs, and I decided to get my first piece of silver, and that's when I got bit. A year and a half after he introduced it to me. That's how that happened. Went to a thrift store today, and guess what I saw? A framed card that read, "It's a great day to have a great day." No kidding! Wow, are you serious? That's freaking cool, man. What thrift store was that? I gotta go there. That's cool. That's awesome. You know, I don't know if I've ever even heard somebody say it other than me. I started saying that a couple years, like several years. I don't even know when I started saying that. I started saying it years and years and years ago. I don't know. I don't think I got it from anywhere. I think I just said it one day, and it's just like, hey, I like that. I say a lot of weird things. Like that rant I went on about an hour ago about avocado toast. And I talked about it for like 10 minutes straight, just nothing but avocado toast. Yeah, just what happens. That's what happens when you put somebody with the amount of energy that I have on a friggin' live stream or on camera or something like that, man. You catch all types of weird, you know, commentary. But yeah, some things just stick. Kind of just throw everything I got at the wall, and you know, something eventually sticks, and that was one of them. Yeah, I just recently made. I've been saying that for years, and just a couple of nights ago, I made "It's a great day to have a great day" T-shirts and coffee mugs. I put those in the DYDSS store. That's cool. I'm happy about that. I was actually I actually temporarily discontinued the DYDSS store. I killed off a bunch of the old designs, and I was actually considering not even bringing it back. But I don't know, man. I got this last month or two, I've really been super into just, you know, reigniting my channel. So yeah, I created a couple new things for the DYDSS store. I've been filming so many videos that I've been able to post one every single day. I think two times I've posted 2 videos in a day. It's my second live stream since I've been back. I like it, man. I'm back, man. I'm back, and I'm freaking hungry. And I don't just mean hungry for some avocado toast. I'm motivated. I thought I would sell my stack when silver reached 30. Did I sell? Yeah, that's how it is. You know, I had no intentions of selling either. I mean, I had no intentions of selling at all. But it's funny because I stacked so obsessively in 2018 when spot price was like $14 and premiums were only like $1.50 over spot. I got so friggin' much generic silver and so friggin' much Maple Leafs and Silver Eagles that entire year. I was at the coin shop or ordering online like every other week, like nonstop. I was in the coin shop. I was ordering something online. I'd be driving home. I stop by the local coin shop. I pick up a little bit of silver. I get home and there's a package of silver in my mailbox. It was like all I was doing. I was saving like every penny so I can get a bunch of silver. And I'm really glad I did that because I don't know what my exact average cost is, but I would imagine it's like probably about 18 or 19 bucks. Because I did buy when prices were higher too, but I bought a little bit less, and I bought a crazy amount, as much as I could possibly afford when spot price was like 14, 15 bucks. So my average cost overall with 7 years of stacking, my average cost is still probably $18, $19. Maybe 20, but definitely not over 20. I'm really glad I did that. And I'm really glad I invested, or really dove into investing during the COVID crash. That's when I really dove in head first and aggressively started investing. So I accidentally had perfect timing twice. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna have to put my laptop away. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I had to put the laptop away. Laptop is dying on me, but fortunately, I have my other phone. And I could pull up the live stream. Right here. Alright. One last friendly reminder. If everybody watching can hit the like button for me, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't clicked like, please click like. It gets the video fed to the algorithm a little bit, and it gives it a little bit extra of a boost. And one other thing I will say one last time is, if you haven't followed me or Mama DYDSS on Instagram, please do so, and go to her page and comment half Goldback on one of her pictures. She has no idea what that means or why you're doing it, and I want to confuse her, because for Mother's Day I'm going to give her a half Goldback note. She loves horses. It's her favorite animal, and the half Goldback Florida note. I'm sorry, I said that kind of weird. The Florida half Goldback note has a picture of like a warrior girl and a horse. She loves horses, man. She's gonna love that freaking Goldback. She doesn't even know what Goldbacks are. So if you comment on one of her pictures, half Goldback, and if a bunch of people do it, she's gonna be so confused. And I think I find that funny. All right, so here I am in the chat. Let's see. And if you guys didn't know, I have 2 YouTube channels, by the way. On my other channel, I post like really short, bite-size videos. A lot of people, you know, they might not have time for like 25-minute long videos every day. On my second channel, I post like 2-minute, 3-minute long videos. Super short. Like straight to the point. Instead of like long, detailed explanations and stuff like that, I post like short little clips, snippets over there. All right, let me see what else is going on in the chat. And you said you saw that frame picture in a thrift store. I'm a big fan of thrift stores. I think thrift stores are cool. You know, I've always been a big fan of like repurposing things, even my own stuff. I something that I don't use for its intended purpose, I sometimes will figure out ways to repurpose it and continue to use it in another way. So going to thrift stores, it's pretty cool. I went to a thrift store just this past winter. Probably, I don't remember if it was early this year or late last year. I don't know, somewhere probably around December. No, it was January. It was this year. I went to a thrift store, and I found myself a sweatshirt, like a crew neck sweatshirt, not without a hood, just you know, just a crew neck sweatshirt. An insulated like base layer type of shirt, which I could always use those. I love those things, man. The wintertime. As much as I hate, having to wear like multiple layers, in the wintertime, with how cold it is, I wear multiple layers. And I always have one of the, and sometimes I work outside. So and also my warehouse is freezing cold in the winter. And our heating system broke conveniently in like mid-November. And for whatever reason, the company just didn't want to fix it for me. So, yeah, so basically I spent the entire winter in a tin can warehouse, freezing cold. I'm talking like walking around with like 4 or 5 layers on. Hood up, 4 or 5 layers on, cold. Snow coming down, like cold out. It was rough, man. It was a rough winter in the warehouse. So yeah, I got one of those. I got a scarf for the winter. Yeah, I just wanted to get some cold weather stuff. And I was like, yeah, I don't really feel like spending money on it, so I'm gonna go to a thrift store. My mother and I used to go to thrift stores. We used to go there. We'd find cool stuff. We'd get like books and stuff there. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. After your Sunshine Mint security guard video, I went and got a bar and round, waiting on the card for delivery. That's cool, man. Yeah, the decoder lens. That is like, see, if you like frequent the coin shop, like a physical in-person brick and mortar coin shop, like a place that you drive to and you walk in the door to get silver, not like ordering online, that's a good thing to keep in like your glove box in your car, the decoder lens. Because if you're driving around and if you're on the road one day and you like stumble upon like a coin shop that you've never been to before, if you're out of town, or if you see a pawn shop or something like that, it's a good thing to have on you. It's a good thing to keep with you if you're going to be hitting a coin shop or getting silver that somewhere that you're not like super familiar with. It's a good thing to have. You never know, if you stumble upon a sunshine round or bar, you could just use the decoder lens right then and there before you even buy it, just to be safe. I mean, 99% of the time you're not going to have a problem anyway, but it's a good thing to have, I think. I love 10-ounce silver bars. The first one I got was from Silver Gold Bull at Spot. $199.99. Picked up a few more since. That's cool. Yeah, I have the 10-ounce bull bar on screen right now in the upper left section of the video. That was the second 10-ounce bar that I got, and yeah, I got it when I think spot price was about $19. And I remember you could have paid with PayPal, and I had a cashback credit card because I bought it with a credit card, and it was the Discover It card where every 3 months it gives you cash back for something different, and it just so happened to be 5% cash back for PayPal transactions. So I put that card as my default PayPal payment method, and I bought the Silver Gold Bull Bar at spot with 10% cash back. So it was almost $20 an ounce, so let's just call it $200. I got $20 off. If you think about it. So technically I got it below spot. Salvation Army in Redlands, California. I'm serious, I had never seen it except hearing from you. Yeah, to be honest, I don't think I've ever seen or heard it except for me saying it as well. I don't think I got it from anybody. I think I just said it one day. I don't know. But that's cool though. That's awesome. Do you remember how much it was? Was it expensive? Because if it was cheap, I'll friggin' pay you to go get it and send it to my P.O. box. Picked up 1, 1/2, 2, 5, and 10. Random rounds or buy coins? It depends on the coin. If it's a pure silver coin, it's obviously gonna carry a higher premium than a pure silver round. So between generic rounds, assuming that they're like recognizable and, you know, reputable silver rounds like Buffalo rounds, Sunshine rounds, things like that, like the everyday silver rounds that you see all the time, anything from like Scottsdale, Silvertown, things like that, I would say right now it just you might as well just get the rounds instead of the coins. But if we're talking about 90% silver coins, the junk silver, technically, if you get a troy ounce of silver worth of junk silver, it's cheaper a lot of the time. Maybe not always. It's cheaper than getting just a flat 1 ounce silver round or bar. So if you were to get 14 silver dimes or 6 silver quarters or 3 silver $half, all 3 of those examples that I just gave equal about a troy ounce, and usually, well, maybe not with the $half, but the quarters and dimes especially, it's usually cheaper than just getting an ounce of silver, a 1 ounce silver round. So whatever's cheaper. Because right now is probably, you know, it's probably the most intelligent thing you could probably do right now is, if you're stacking, is stack for weight. You know, there's nothing wrong with every once in a while spicing things up with something cool that you like, a coin rounder bar that, you know, you just think it would be fun to have, or you're just drawn to it for whatever reason. Nothing wrong with that at all. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, I have a couple things on my to stack list. I see no problem with that. But I think generally, for the most part, I think it's probably smart to get the most silver for the lowest dollar bill amount. And yeah, as for sterling silver, me personally, I never got into it. It's cool, you know, silver at the end of the day. I never got into sterling silver. I have a hard enough time being interested in anything that's less than 90% silver. Nice deal on the silver gold bar. 5% cash back is nice. I'm happy with my Costco 2% plus 2% from the membership. So does that mean it's essentially a 4% cash back card for you? And yeah, 5% cash back is nice. And the coolest thing about that particular card is if it's your first year with the card, they match all of your cash back. So the 5% cash back that I got for using it as a PayPal transaction made it 10% cash back for my first year. So yeah, I got 5% cash back for using the PayPal transaction to get that 10-ounce silver bar at spot, but that 5% automatically became 10%, so I got 10% back on a silver bar that was at spot. So I got it for 10% below spot, if you think about it, which is crazy. How many people can say that? Man, I got this thing for 10% under spot. And that was when spot price was about $19. Look at where it is today. It's about $30. So spot price has done quite a bit. And technically, I got it for like, I guess closer to like, probably like $18 an ounce if you think about it. I think spot price was just a hair under 20 bucks. Sorry, my comment was about Florida Goldbacks from Spectacular. 4% back on Costco gold and silver. Oh, I see what you're saying. Wait, they give you... So I understand that the Costco... See, I don't have a Costco membership. I have a Sam's Club membership. I've always liked Sam's Club better. My mother likes Costco better. My grandparents like Costco better. I don't know. Sam's Club for me has always been like a hidden gem. I do like Costco. I have nothing bad to say about Costco. I love Costco. I personally have a Sam's Club membership. So I don't know a whole lot about the Costco card because I don't have a Costco membership. But is that what it is? It's generally a 2% cashback card if you use it at Costco? Where does that other 2% come from? Is that's not exclusive to silver and gold, is it? If so, Costco knows what the heck they're doing. Yeah, it's a 2% cashback card, but why do you get an additional 2% back? Like, why does that 2% turn into a 4% for you? Like, what? You know, and I'm not asking you to, tell me all the bells and whistles about the card. I just don't know, like, why or how it goes from 2% to 4%. Is it like a membership status thing? Is it for select items? I don't know much about that card. Yeah, I walked in once and saw a lady walking out. Saw the Sterling, just turned around and went home. Man. Whoops. There we go. Let me go to... Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I'm trying to read something. Damn, she's got a lot of friggin' pictures of me on her Instagram. I mean, she puts emojis over our faces, thankfully, but... Proud mom. A lot of pictures of me and a lot of pictures of horses. Alright, let's go back to the stream. Let's see. The other 2% is because the executive membership also gives you 2% cash back. So 2% from the credit card and 2% from the membership. So does that go for everything that you buy at Costco, essentially? So you do like a full friggin' shopping cart of stuff. You're basically getting 4% cash back? Because I know you mentioned about silver and gold, so I didn't know if it was like for select items or if it's just like 2% plus an additional 2%, so 4% on everything. If so, that's friggin' awesome. If that's the case, Costco is even more of a rock star than I thought. Not all cash back is the same, but for precious metals, okay. So Costco knows what they're doing there. Costco is trying to. Costco is incentivizing you to buy silver and gold. See, I haven't been inside of a Costco since last time I was inside of a Costco was before they started selling silver and gold. How do you where do they like? How do they sell it? I mean, it like I'm assuming they don't have like a glass countertop that you can look into like a coin shop. I'm assuming it's not like that. Like, what do you have to do? You have to ask a worker to go and get you something, like, because I know they're not sitting there on the shelf like the friggin' cans of soup are, because those things would immediately be in everybody's pockets and they'd be running out the door. How does that how does the process look? I haven't been in a Costco since before they started doing that. Oh yeah, I see. You can buy it on their website too. That makes sense. It is like a glass shelf with the jewelry. Huh. No kidding. See, I have the Sam's Club membership. My mom has the Costco membership. I've taken her to Sam's Club a couple of times this last month or so. I was on a driving restriction for almost a month straight, so I couldn't drive. I was in a sling, out of work with an injury, so I couldn't really do a whole lot. So I had to. She drove me to a couple places. Fortunately, we live 5 minutes away from each other. And I have the Sam's Club membership, so she'd come pick me up. We'd both go to Sam's Club, and I'm like, hey, since you're doing me all the favors, just put whatever you want in here, and I'll friggin' buy it with my stuff, and you can just have it. I figured that was kind of fair. But she has the Costco membership. Maybe I'll have to go with her one of these days. Huh. Just to see it, even. And they sell silver too, or just gold? And I can't imagine it being like a crazy selection, right? Like they don't have like a million different coins to pick from, right? Costco is a good example of like one of the best companies. I've always said that the best companies in the world, if they can do all three of these things, they're a superstar of a company. Most companies struggle to even do two of the three, let alone all three. Some of them can't even friggin' do one of the three. The first one is have happy customers. 2, have happy shareholders. And 3, which is where a lot of companies struggle, have happy employees. There are a lot of companies out there. They're going up in value. The share price is going up in value. Customers don't have a whole lot to complain about. Customers are happy, but the workers are miserable. That's a lot of companies. Costco, I'm not going to say Costco workers, wake up and they're all they care about, I can't wait to go to work today. I know that they're not in love with their jobs. Like there's no one anywhere that like loves their job more than anything, but they're happy where they are. Costco workers, like, they are taken care of. No, they're not overpaid. I understand that, but like, they are compensated more fair if you compare them to the competitors. Good benefits, employee discount, like Costco. It's a good company to work for. And yeah, Costco shareholders, love Costco stock. Costco is like Costco is actually on my watch list. I said 5 years ago, because when the COVID crash happened, I dove headfirst into the stock market, and I wasn't hyper focused on index funds at the time. But there were, a handful of individual stocks that I was buying into a lot. And Costco was not one of them, but Costco was on my list. And I said, Costco is on my list for the next time that there's a big crash. Um, and I'm not overly interested in starting a new position with an individual stock, but I would make an exception for Costco. If if all the stars aligned, I could see myself being a Costco shareholder. It's a great stock. Super reliable dividend growth. It's recession proof. Super defensive. And it kind of blows a lot of competitors out of the water. And what's funny is, even before I got into investing, even before I got into prepping and stuff like that, I think I was watching something one day, and I think the question was, if there was a zombie apocalypse, where would you go, or what would you do? My answer was, I would go to Costco. I'd lock the doors. You have enough food inside of Costco to probably survive the rest of your life. Borderline impossible to get in when the doors are locked. And it's a big, giant, major, massive warehouse. You could attack from the roof if you had to. Imagine living inside of a Costco. No, and no one else is in there, or your friends or family only. Imagine no customers, just no workers, nothing. Just Costco building, just you and your friends and your family. All the food's there, and you got to stay there for a month. Let's just say you could very easily do that. You would have no problem surviving a month inside of a Costco without setting foot outside. You can absolutely 1000% do that. You get the item number and take it to the cash register. Huh. Man, Costco knows what the heck they are doing. Smart. Question I've been collecting slowly. Is being around 70 ounces after a year bad? No, not at all. Here, think of it this way. You are 70 ounces ahead of the vast, vast, vast majority. If you had 1 ounce of silver, you're already ahead of the game. 70 ounces? That's not bad shape at all. And plus, it's not a race. If the person next to you got 90 ounces in the last year, dude, that does not mean you are losing. That means you're both winning. $10-ounce silver bars and gold eagles, buffaloes, pink bars, silver eagles, and several other items. Not a huge selection. Hey, well, you know what? You don't need a huge selection, to be honest. I'm surprised that they have 10-ounce silver bars. I'm kind of surprised that they have like silver at all, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do remember reading that they sold 1-ounce gold buffaloes. Correct? Is what you're referring to when you say buffaloes? I think I remember reading about that. That's crazy. Hey, you know what? Maybe that's where I'll get my buffalo. Eventually, when all of this nonsense that I'm dealing with right now is finally a thing of the past, because like I said, I was out of both jobs for a month with an injury. So it's going to take me... See, I was out for a month. So I'm going to say it's probably going to take me 2 months to financially recover. From there, I can start moving in an upward direction again. Start investing regularly again. Start acquiring some silver and saving up a little bit of cash for a slightly larger purchase. And I might actually get my very first gold buffalo. Maybe not like in the next couple of months, but maybe like later this year, early next year. Maybe I'll get that gold buffalo that I've been wanting for 7 friggin' years. Maybe I'll get it at friggin' Costco. Recently bought 25-gram cap bars. They are attached to each other. A block, you can like break off individual grams. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have is it is it 25 of these Valcambi bars or whatever? If so, I have one of the 25. I'm pretty sure these are from the 25 piece. Sometimes hard to find online. They seem to only show up if they are in stock or deliverable to you. So when you see an item, copy the item number, and you can make favorite. Yeah, that's a good idea. I saw a silver kilo with a limit of 5 each transaction at my local. Wow. Dang, so they're selling kilo bars. See, Costco knows what they're doing, man. I'm just surprised they're selling them and not just secretly buying them. Keeping them in the Costco vault. That's cool, though. Website or app, and they save them there. You can see them there in stock. You had some kilos at Costco, but the selection has gotten larger in the last year. Like that. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I get it. Alright, well. Unfortunately, I'm actually going to have to wrap up the stream. It's late, I'm tired, my voice is starting to go, and I have an early morning of filming, followed by the second half of my day going to my night job. I have the day off of my main job, but I have to go to work at my other job in the evening, so gotta rest up for that. Plus my laptop battery was dying, I had to put that on the charger, and now my phone that I'm looking at with, now that's dying, so yeah, we're drained over here. But thank you everybody for stopping by, tuning in, hanging out, being with us here on the live stream. Not exactly sure when the next one will be, but there will absolutely be a regular video posted tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday. I already have them filmed, and tomorrow morning I'm gonna try to film videos for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever I can do. I don't know. Anyway, thank you everybody for stopping by, tuning in, hanging out. If you haven't seen the video that I posted today, you should give it a watch. It was something a little. I wanted to do something a little bit different for the video I posted today. It's talking about the top 10 asset classes. Or I'm sorry, the top 10. Oh man, I can't even talk. The top 10 assets by market cap on planet Earth. Silver and gold both being on that list of the top 10. Gold being number one on the planet by market cap. And gold blows all the other ones out of the water. Gold makes up, I think it was 51% of the entire top 10. So gold alone is more than numbers 2 through 10 all added together. And silver's number 7 on the list, so it's definitely up there too. So if you haven't seen today's video, you should give it a watch. Pretty interesting stuff. But anyway, gotta get out of here. My voice is gone, and See you guys in the next one. See you guys in the comment section of either today's video or tomorrow's video. I'm going to go and respond to some comments now. Appreciate you being here. Interesting talk tonight. Live streams are fun. I look forward to doing a lot more. But anyway, thank you guys. Have a good one. Don't you dare